Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tides of Death. How are you all doing today on this fine day my favorite players ever made?
We are doing fantastic, and I speak for all of us.
That
Yep.
is great.
Yep, it's true. He does.
It does.
Happy to hear it. Do we have any pirate facts? In fact, we do. We have 2 pirate facts and a wager. So does someone want to explain what's about to happen?
Well, let Jan do his pirate fact first before we get into any of
Well,
that.
we need to set the rules before we start dishing out
No, Jan's not involved in the wager, I'm saying.
I'm not
Oh.
involved in this. I'm giving mine no
Okay.
matter what.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Let's do it.
All right. So today, I walked past a place called the Sextant.
Nice.
And my friend called. Shut the fuck up. My friend asked me, "What's a sextant?" Right? And I realized I didn't really know. I just knew it was like a navigation device, right? So I looked it up, and it's actually like the most reliable navigation device ever made. Like it's no matter where you are, no matter how bad your ship is moving, it's very easy to determine both your position and the time of day with a sextant. Because it's literally just used to measure angular distance between like an object in the sky and the horizon. That's all you need. You can do it with the sun. There's like filters on it that you can look into to measure the sun. And the reason it's called a sextant is because it has the little area of a circle at the bottom to measure the angle, and that is 60 degrees, which is 1/6 of a circle, which is why it's called a sextant. There's also octants or quadrants, which have a quarter circle or an eighth of a circle, but a sextant has a sixth of a circle. And like the U.S. Navy and stuff, they still carry sextants on their boats because if any navigation were to cut out, they can still use that for navigation. Yeah.
Wow. Importantly, with a sextant, you also need to know the time of day, don't you? So you can know where things are positioned in the sky.
You can, if you know the date, you can determine the time of day using the moon, I believe, because you can determine the I think it's the angular distance of the moon to like a star, and that way you can determine the time of day, like Greenwich Mean Time.
Oh, that's super clever. Because for a long time, one of the navigational problems that the ancient peoples, actually classical peoples and medieval peoples, had trouble with was figuring out the time of day at night to know where to measure stars to the horizon and whatnot. And it wasn't until there were reliable clocks that there was really good international navigation. But that sounds like it has a grain of truth to it. So maybe that's like something they didn't realize. Maybe their calculators weren't good enough to get the moon shit. But yeah, that's a good point. Take your 5% experience for understanding
Thank you very
sextants.
much.
Wait, Neil.
Yeah.
You said it's got a grain of truth to it. But do you remember literally 3 minutes ago where Jan was like, the new meta's just lying to Neil and trying to pass it off as a real fact?
Yes, but it sounds good enough that I believe it. If he's playing the meta, he played it well.
He's hiding in plain sight. Nice work.
All right. Other players, what is the
So
shenanigans?
We've got a wager. So basically, me and Potato both have a pirate fact. And we're going to pool the experience that we get together, and then Neil decides who's got the best fact, and they get all of the experience.
Hell
Should we roll a d20 to see who goes first?
yeah, sure.
That seems appropriate, doesn't it? Okay, so highest goes first. So I'll be going second.
Oh well, I rolled a 5.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, here we go. Sign of things to come. Well, so this is a very important pirate fact. Not only is it interesting, but it's also speaks to the moral nature of pirates and who they really were as people and the kind of lives they lived, and lets you see through the bullshit that's been paraded in front of us by the likes of Disney and other corporations, basically feeding us a narrative about who pirates are and what they were about. Side fact, this is just a bonus fact that I've just sort of gathered now.
Hang on, he's thrown in bonus. This is
Yeah.
unreasonable.
Hey, that's
You can't throw
XP
in a
for you.
bonus fact that way.
No,
Whoa.
it's related. It's related. Talking about corporations defining who pirates are. The voice that we all do, the pirate voice, the "Arr, get on board me ship, me hearties," and all that. That was just made up by Disney for the movie Treasure Island, and was in
As
fact
opposed to?
based on the accent of farmers in Yorkshire. One specific farmer called Jeff, actually, who consulted with Disney.
It's the bullshit. There's no way he was close.
This is the bullshit.
There's no fucking-
That's the bonus fact. Okay, now I'm going back to the main fact. So, The first ever recorded same-sex marriage, Neil, was between pirates, and it was actually quite a common practice for pirates to be in a sort of civil partnership with other crew members. And the purpose of this was that if one of them were to die, they'd be allowed like pass on their wealth to their friend or even their lover, as it was in many cases. This practice was called matelotage. It was used in the 17th century amongst sailors, and they pledged to protect and fight alongside each other in battle, able to share and inherit each other's wealth. They'd often exchange gold rings to symbolize their union. On paper, it was thought to just be economic, but there's an interesting book you could read, Neil, by B.R. Berg called Sodomy and the Pirate Tradition, which records their clearly homosexual relationships, despite it being outlawed and punishable by death at the time. And a famous petitioner in this kind of thing was a pirate called John Swan, who was active in the late 1600s.
When you say the first ever recorded homosexual marriage, do you mean in the UK?
No, I mean recorded in sort of history.
Like even among
England.
the Greeks and the Romans.
I mean in England now. Yeah, I mean in England.
Save that one. Save that one to the last second, Nick.
It's over. Sid already won.
That's not true. That was a good fact. Come on.
That was a good fact. No, that was good fact. I don't know about Jeff being the voice of pirates. That doesn't sound very good.
That bit was made up. But
yeah, it was.
Disney and the farmers' accents. That was true.
Well, yeah, of course it was. Yeah, of course. That was pretty good pirate facts right there. I am willing to give 5 percentage points of experience for homosexual pirates.
Yeah. Put it in the pot.
So, my pirate fact actually builds upon what I talked about last time I talked about pirate facts, which was about jobs at sea. I talked about landsmen and all these different things. And I wanted to talk about, like, what did people think about being a pirate? Like, you might see a job nowadays, like, oh, you're an engineer? That's a high prestige job. You're awesome. You're making big money. And the general perception of being a sailor was that it was a hard life. Generally speaking, for everyone involved, it sucked really hard. No one thought, well, I say no one. Most people would have thought it was like dirty and cramped and terrible. Even like the highest ranking officer was, you're basically living in a tiny room that you have to yourself. It was said by a guy that no man will be a sailor who has a contrivance enough to get himself in jail, for being in a ship is being in a ship in a jail with a chance of being drowned. I think he went on to say more, but the guy who said that was Samuel Johnson, who, if you don't know, like about 5-10 years ago, there was like the disgusted guy in a powdered wig meme. It was like he like reads a book and then he looks. Samuel Johnson, that's the guy who said that quote. And he hated sailing. Like, he thought it was like the dirtiest, most disgusting profession on earth. Like, he had a servant who was a freed slave, Francis Barber, who decided to become a landsman, which was like the lowest ranking unskilled laborer on a ship. And he hated it so much that even though Francis Barber wanted to be a sailor and like was repeatedly telling him, listen, dude, let me be a sailor, he like wrote letters, like scathing letters, where he just like rips into the sailing profession, trying to get Francis Barber's contract, cancelled. And like basically like, give me back my servant. I want my guy back. He's really good. But Francis Barber was super into it. He was like, I want to be a sailor. And the interesting thing is that like that division between those people actually is like emblematic of the division of the opinion on like sailing as a profession. Like, most people would have seen it as like a dirty, cramped, horrible job, but people like Francis saw it as like kind of a liberating job. Like, you get to travel around, you don't have to have any family obligations, you can get out of like legal entanglements, maybe escape like debt that you owe. Life at sea also had like a certain structure and familiarity and like camaraderie that you don't get like on a land job. So it appealed to this like really small sect of the population, not unlike people who sign up for the army today, who are like, I want to like better myself socioeconomically and I want to have more structure in my life, so I go off and join the army. Even if that's like super risky and dangerous for my life, like the payoff is worth it. So yeah, for some, the job of being a sailor was the juice of it was worth the squeeze. Francis Barber is probably worth talking about as well. I think it's kind of funny that his name was Barber because because the Barbary Coast Pirates, right? He went on to be a sailor in the Royal Navy. He lived in England, and I think actually Samuel Johnson, the powdered wig meme guy, made him his heir because his wife died, and then Francis was like his only friend.
I have a fact as well. Sorry.
Basically covers my fact.
Are you getting in on this gambling too, MrMouton?
Yeah, I think I can beat both these kids.
All right.
Hang on. You can't join the bet after.
Okay, fine. I don't care about the bet.
That's not fair. Yeah.
I would just like my percent.
Okay. All right. Well, let's resolve the bet first here then. On the one hand, we have a historical example of specific pirates and the socioeconomic interests and who might want to be a pirate. Pretty good facts to help ground us in sort of like the real world of piracy. On the other
Nick
hand,
did lie in his facts.
well, that's very
just a joke
pirate-like
to make it
to
more entertaining.
lie to try and get some
true.
extra things. But gay pirates looking for booty has got to win. Has got
Yes.
to win this thing. So Nick,
That's
please.
true. I didn't even think of that line, Neil. That's so good.
It's low-hanging fruit.
Yeah,
Go
that
ahead and
was,
take
yeah.
10 percentage points,
Oh yeah.
John
Mine'll be
Winters.
short and quick.
I was
Monday.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Monday, September 19th, is International Talk Like a Pirate Day. It was created in 1995 by John Bauer and Mark Summers, and it actually was created during a racquetball game where I think it was John got injured, and he screamed out "Arr!" and the ideal was born. There it is.
I have heard of Talk Like a Pirate Day. In fact, that was a thing in some of my schools way back in the day. I will give you 2% for Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Thank you.
Very generous, Neil. Very generous.
That's not
It
generous.
is. A little more than... Maybe it should have been a little lower, but it's fine. It's fine.
Wait, is
All
it 10% for your start? Yeah, it's 10%, isn't it?
10%
You know, if
of
you-
what you're missing for the next one.
No, I'm saying like if you've got a 17 in Dex, it's 10% of. Yeah.
What?
No.
If you've got a 17 in your prime requisite, you get 10% more XP. That's what I'm saying.
yes,
It's 10%,
yes.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. At 16, you get the experience bonus.
Okay.
Is
Wait,
he
is that-
asking for an extra 1% there?
No, I'm not. I'm
Oh,
just
okay.
doing the calculation.
Okay.
Nick's
Yeah,
always working for the
thanks.
1%.
True.
Oh, that's not fair. That's not fair.
It was an easy one as well. So, last we left our party, you fought an Inquisitor and stole their shit.
And their head.
And their head.
Yeah.
And did you steal their squire as well?
Oh, yeah, we
let's go
did
back
steal
to the
that
boat.
Squire.
Yeah, I
He's
do
on the
believe.
ship, look.
Oh.
I believe you took the squire.
Yeah.
All right, we
And-
took him. Fuck it.
Yeah. And then you left, right? You looted the shack. You looted the Inquisitor's little area. You took all the papers you could find. You searched it for treasure. You did a quick once-over, then hopped back on your ship before reinforcements could arrive and fucked out of there and moved
Nilrim
on.
didn't kill the guy who opened the door and told him what he wanted to know. I don't remember what he wanted to know, but I just remember that Nilrim didn't kill him.
Right. Nilrim
With surprise,
showed
yeah.
momentary restraint. Large character development for him.
Beautiful.
Progress made. And you'll notice we also have a new Nilrim token right over here.
Oh, no.
Finally.
Yeah. No longer the bright and chipper, happy young lad in bright colors. Now a dark, scary man.
The Wraith of the Dardans.
Mm. All right, party. You take off, leaving the village behind and sailing for where?
I think we're heading home, but we
Heading
will
home.
let us know if there's any ships that require boarding along the way.
Well,
think-
there could be a hell of a lot of ships that require boarding on the way. Tell me what you're looking for, because if you're sailing in line with all of the other ships along this coast of the islands,
Wait, I
you're
think
gonna
that
pass
we
ship
should-
after ship after ship and harbor after harbor. You're gonna see a lot of stuff.
I think we should just sail home immediately. Nilrim will push for that for the reasons that we have the Inquisitor's items. We need to get them in the lead-lined rooms as soon as possible because we don't really know what they do. And he's also pushing for it because he wants to go and do his own shit.
Pernos Cleric Soy. Yeah, okay, let's go back then.
We're cozy.
Yeah. Well,
How are
crazy,
we? How are we
Not
concealing the beaconed items right now? Are we just trying
We're
to
having it
outrun them?
next to the anti-magic shield.
Gotcha. I forgot about that. Grant.
So the items that you
yeah.
think may be beaconed are the helmet, which provides wizard sight or something like that, and the sword
And the
then-
shield, obviously.
and the shield.
Well,
but
no,
you
the
can't
shield can't
beacon.
be. The shield can't be. Yeah.
Yeah,
We pause it.
right. So the other two items are kept near the shield on your boat, and this is the big boat with all your crew, as we can see
Yep.
on the map. And we head in line back towards home.
Well, Nilrim can navigate it. We head the quickest way home.
Sure, you want to head home quickly
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
All right, we can cut the middle then. Nilrim, give me a navigation check.
Hang on. Before we get going, let me just pat down the squire, make sure he's not got any weapons on or any crazy shit like that.
Yes, there's
Yeah,
a
we pat
dagger
him
on the
down.
squire.
We pat him down, we take any weapons off him, we tie him up, probably.
We check. Does he have any magical beacons or anything on him? Any gems?
I'll also
Uh,
sweep the ship for magical beacons on the hull or anything.
There are no magical beacons on the ship. The squire has no magic, only small amounts of wealth, silver on him, and that's about it.
We put the squire. Nilrim will ask the captain. Captain, may we please put the squire downstairs in like a dark room where he can't be seen? Because if he gets scryed upon, then they would. If he was walking around the top deck, they'd be able to see all of us.
It would?
They'd be able to see where. I think so. Yeah.
Alright, well, Norm, if that's what you say. Kid, on your feet. Let's take you to more permanent accommodations. I'll he's tight, his arms are tied up. I'll say, okay, down the stairs, and I'll kick him in the arse and push him down the stairs.
You kick
I'll
him in
laugh
the
at him
ass
as he
and push him
falls.
down the stairs.
Pretty fucking
Yeah.
clumsy there, boy. Get on your feet, come on.
Kid
I'll follow him
stumbles
down.
forward.
Nilrim will quickly take him downstairs. Show him to his room, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Give him a
tied-
quick
he's tied
intelligence
up in
check.
In the hall, right?
Yeah, that works. Is he smart?
Kid?
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna give him the test?
Oh, yeah, we gotta give him the test. I need to know.
Right.
I'm
You
gonna
got
get a
plenty of
17 on one of these
time.
dice.
Not
Fucking
quite.
dummy.
Not worth it. Not this one.
You're a dumb
Okay.
fuck.
He's a dumb.
He's pretty brave though. I feel like he held up against
Yeah,
He
he's
held a
pretty brave.
shield.
At some point, Archie, Sale, between the two of you, can you go and have a word with our friend down there? He's a squire. He might be rich. His parents might be rich. Maybe we can sell him back. Maybe find out who his parents are, where he's from, if they're rich. He might try and lie to you, so just, don't be fooled.
Archie will try to recount all the things you just said and head downstairs yourself.
Yeah. I'll head down with Archie. Not a problem, Captain. We'll find out.
Two of you head down and find the squire in this room, darkened room by themselves, looking a little bit scared.
Before we go in, I ask Archie, should we just go in and immediately beat him and then ask him questions, or do we ask him questions first?
I don't know why I keep saying
was-
these dudes to do stuff.
Wait, was it? The captain always says something. It's ask questions first, throw punches late, or is it the other way around? Is it throw punches first, ask questions later? Which one was it?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever beaten anyone for info before. I thought that was your thing.
Well, it is. There's different ways to do it, but I kind of like your approach here. I feel like beating him up first kind of shows him, what kind of power we hold over him, and then, what we could potentially do to him.
Wait, I got a better idea. We'll burst his
Yeah.
ear screaming, and then tell us everything you know, or we'll kill you. Right? We'll do that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I like that. That's good because then he'll think that we'll kill him, and then he'll tell us what he knows, right?
Yeah. Are we ready ourselves at the door?
Okay.
You're at the door.
3,
Alright.
2, 1, go, go, go!
Tell us everything you know. Tell us everything you know. We'll fucking kill you. We'll fucking kill you. Tell us everything you know.
1 + 1 is 2. 2 + 2 is 4. 3 + 3 is
Good.
6.
Good. Yeah. All right. Nice. Nice.
Does your family have money? Who do you work for?
I work for the White Prince. My family has money. My name is Barry.
Your fa-
Barry, how much money?
Barry.
How much money, Barry? Quickly. You're going to die, Barry. Quickly.
Lots of gold. Hundreds of gold, thousands of gold. I don't know. A lot of gold. Noble
Where
family.
do they live?
They
And most importantly, Barry, how much would they pay for you?
Yeah.
pay anything, maybe. They live in Port-Prince.
All right, I don't think we have to kill him, Archie. He's got money.
Do you want to beat him up just a little bit anyway?
It's okay.
Yeah, I'll close the door.
All right, we beat him up just a little bit.
Barry is lightly beaten.
All right,
Like
that
an
was
egg.
quick. What did you find out?
Well, he wet himself a little bit, and his pee is
A little bit.
very
Yeah.
strong.
He said, wait, he said 2 plus 2 is 4, I think. 1 plus 1 is 2, is what he said.
that
What
checks
else
out.
did he say? Yeah, what else did he say, so?
I think he said his family has lots of money and they would pay anything to get him back. Now, he did say that under duress.
take
Right. Right.
But was he telling the truth?
I mean,
Well, we beat him up anyway, just in case. So,
yeah.
you know.
Right. Where do they live?
Oh, did he say Port-au-Prince?
I
Is that a
think he
place?
said Port-au-Prince,
Port-Prince?
yeah. Port-Prince.
Port Prince.
Port-Prince.
you know-
sorry, Port-Prince.
Or,
You heard of that, Nilram?
Norm would know. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Where's that at?
Port-Prince is the most important stronghold of the White Prince in the Middle Ring. You haven't been there yet, so for you, it's just a dot on a
Nice.
map.
All
It's
right,
just
all right.
it's somewhere out here in the Middle Ring, on the southeast
Oh, I see where it
corner,
is.
or something like that, southwest corner.
Very good.
Port-Prince is also where it's rumored that Sale's brother was held by the White Prince's men, and one of your captives here, I think it was John Brophy, was held in that place as well. Was
Interesting.
it John Brophy? It was one of these people. Yeah.
Yep, it was Brophy.
Port-Prince also happens to be the place where Wiley has said that he has some contacts, that he might know some smugglers and might know some forgers in the area. Port-Prince is a large city. In fact, it is the largest city outside of the inner rings. There is a huge amount of commerce and traffic that goes through this area. It has a large proper harbor. It has a lot of White Prince's soldier. It has large walls. It's a well-defended, extremely wealthy outpost overrun by White Prince's men. It is their forward operating base for the Midlands and the Outer Ring.
Thank you, Nilram. That was very interesting. You sure do have a good memory.
A fucking genius, Captain. Okay.
Yeah, I
Probably
guess
the
you are.
smartest man you've ever met, and smartest man you'll ever will meet.
Well, it's fate, right? We take these documents back to Wiley. He forges papers for us or whatever, and then we can head to the Middle Ring. Maybe
While
go
he's
to this
forging.
Port-Prince place. Yeah, we can go and see
We head
your
over to Alba.
friend. Yeah, maybe we can go there. You know, depending on who this guy's family are, that's a point. We should find out their name.
Yeah, I was.
Maybe we can get
I'll
more than
talk to
gold
him,
from them.
Captain.
said his name's Barry.
Norm will go
Yeah.
downstairs.
We could blackmail these people.
Oh, yeah.
We can
Open
also
up the-
beat Barry up more and tell him that we saved him from death. Probably ransom is simpler.
I think so.
Norm opens the door to the kid.
The kid
He
stares
greets
at
him
you
with a nice
wide-eyed.
smile.
Why?
Norm will pull out some food out of his new extra-dimensional pockets. Offer him some.
More questions in math time, he says, eating the food.
Just a quick one. What's your last name?
Tensor.
And are your parents the lords of Port-Prince?
Give me an intelligence check. Give me a spellcraft check, Mr. Mooton.
Oh, okay. 32.
You know the name Tensor. There are some very basic spells called Tensor, for example, Tensor's floating disc. Basic spell. The last name Tensor, as you understand it, derives from the line of wizards of which Tensor was the founding member. So this person is tangentially, distantly related to one of the great famous wizards of the old age. Well, long in the back. Now, this might not have any real ramifications. It might be like saying you're related to Genghis Khan in the modern era, where 10% of Mongolia is related to Genghis Khan. But there is that connection. It might be useful. It might just happen to be like a little fun fact on the side. What were you saying before I interrupted you?
Well, Nilram knowing that, he would also ask, are your parents the lords of the island?
No.
How did you receive the name Tensor? Do you know about your history?
Yeah, I know all about my family history. We were some of the first people to come to the Dardennes with the great wizard Ferris in the early days.
Was your great-grandfather the one who made the Tensor's floating disc?
Mm-hmm. Well, great, way back when. Yeah.
And I assume your family are spellcasters then, or no? Have they all...
Some of them. My dad's a mage for the White Prince. He works out of Halfport Bay. My mom still lives in Port Prince with the rest of my family.
Would your dad trade your great-grandfather's spell book for your life?
Oh, probably not. I don't know if he has it.
Why wouldn't he have it? Haven't you seen it?
No.
It's a family heirloom.
There's a lot of, it's been a long time. We don't have any of his stuff.
Normal sigh. All right. Thank you for your cooperation. And he'll close the door and leave him some food.
Okay.
He'll go up to the captain, inform him of everything, tell him about Tensor and all the magical memes with it.
You know this guy, Tensor?
He's an old wizard who made a few spells far inferior to mine.
It's funny, our
A
base
lazy
was
wizard.
made by an old wizard, right?
Yeah.
A lot of old wizards around these parts.
It is interesting. Maybe the magic broke up the islands. He laughs.
All right, well, either way, I'm sure they've got some money. If they were some of the first people to come here. But, Noran, put that big brain of yours to work and see if you can think of something that we could get out of them other than gold. Our recent endeavors are going quite well, and mine coffers do overflow with silver, so if we could get something else out of them, maybe we can get them to give us some legitimacy somehow. Maybe if the more permanent papers, perhaps we could trade our ship for one that's registered. I don't know. Something. Must be able to get something more out of these people for the life of their son.
Probably have spell books.
Yeah, I guess. If that's worth a lot to you.
Norm shrugs. The only thing I need is coming soon, Captain.
Yeah, well, I'm a little bit worried about all of that, Nilrim, so why don't you, I know how you like to get excited. So when you meet this friend of yours, just remember what we're doing here, Remember all of us.
Talking about cloud kill, but...
I
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll leave you to it.
3 days of your journey are stuck in a nice heavy fog bank, but you can sail through out to the other side without too much problem and make your way all the way back home to Port Ferris, or more importantly, the little island outside of Port Ferris. On your journey here, I have a couple of questions for our crew. We're going to go around the table real quick here, starting with Mr. Archie.
Yeah.
You've just beaten up an Inquisitor. That's
I
probably
have.
the biggest, baddest, most fearsome warrior you've ever fought directly hand to hand. Is that about right?
Well, there was that T-Rex I beat up, but
Oh, that's true.
There's
the guy
also
at the beginning
the
with the
sword
sword.
master.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy
Yeah.
was probably, I think, the most fierce.
But it's definitely, I don't know if Archie fully understands the implications of this, because to him it was like the fight didn't go very well for him, so he's probably still thinking about it a lot. But I feel like it's on par with if in his perspective is on par with some other people he's fought for sure.
The Archie's not thinking too much about this sort of thing, like the importance of the Inquisitor, the symbolic
Yeah.
definitions of
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
It just kind of,
No, it's just like it's mostly like the size of the dude. Like Yeah,
Okay.
and his attitude when he's fighting.
Okay. All right. Mr. Sale, you've got a whole bunch of people here on this boat with you, and you are communing with the god down below, the creature of the deep. You're well aware that any moment those dark tentacles could wrap around your ship and rip it in two or drag these people off your boat. And some of these folks have been given the test, right? But not all of your new sailors have been properly tested. Is there a time when they will be? Is there... do you ever want to introduce them to what lies beneath?
I think there's sort of like different levels of induction. So they would all get the first level, which I think is fuck the White Prince. And then there's the second level where you're drowned.
Right.
And then there's the third level where, you actually independently or through ritual become bound to Rohi. So I think most of them are at like that level 1 stage. No one's at level 2 yet.
Is that something that Sale spends time thinking about, like who to introduce when? Or is it sort of a happens when it happens deal?
It's sort of a when I have time, I will do it. And like if the loyalty of a particular person is like in question, the sort of threat of damnation is terrifying, and so it's kind of more of a manipulative thing than it is like an actual religious thing. Sale is more like right now Sale is more thinking about, okay, how do I actually make this whole rebellion thing work? Like maybe we could use the anti-magic shield, we strap it to a mast so we're immune to lightning bolt. Like how do we mechanically, like how do I manipulate the politics? That's kind of like what's going through his head more so, and like things like his brother and all that kind of stuff has like fallen to the back of his mind.
Okay. Not Mr. Nil, we're gonna get to you last. John. I can tell. We know that you're looking for boats, but there's always other things that are popping up in the meantime that is forcing your attention away from, ship to ship raiding and whatnot. Tell me about John's desire, like his itch for piracy rather than all this White Prince, gods and deities stuff. At the end.
He's enjoying his new ship with the captain's quarters and the larger crew. Starting to feel a little bit more like how things were back on Arcadia when he had a bigger ship and had an actual crew. And so feeling more like a pirate now and less like a gang of really powerful convicts running around, like just murdering people. Go ahead.
If I can interject, I feel like it's closer to what we imagined when we first left Arcadia before we sank in the Dardanelles, right? We had a big ship, big crew. Yeah,
we've been in a bit of a tough spot for a while. We've been kind of building back up, but it's kind of feeling like we're there now.
Yeah.
So the thing that John's thinking about more than stealing ships is actually finding a way to get past this problem where we can't dock anywhere. Because what's the point of being rich if you can't spend any of the money? Like, he wants to go to this Port Prince place so he can spend all the money that they've gathered and, like, basically, live like a pirate king.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the main concern right now.
Okay. Well, then. Last but not least, we have Nilrum. Nilrum has been pulled in a lot of directions as of late. He wants immortality, he wants a connection with Ponos, there's all this magic lying around that he wants to get his hands on, and at the same time it's really dangerous to get a hold of. Does Nilrum have a steady heading, Mr. Navigator, or is he sort of caught in the swirl of so many different things going on?
Nilrum has a steady heading, that's correct. He's trying to get stronger. And he's going directly to the Ponos cleric, and he wants to talk to them, see what the fuck's going on. And if nothing comes of that, then he's gonna just level up till he's probably got 5th level spell slots, and then he thinks he'll probably be pretty invincible down here.
So, like, the end goal is the Fountain of Youth. The short-term goal is the Ponos cleric, and the mid-term goal is just like generalized power structure.
I think so.
Okay.
He wants to get the Fountain of Youth before he turns probably like his 30s. Probably like he's 19 right now, so he's got 11 years.
Got time. He's got time.
He's got time. Oh, he also wants an apprentice, so he doesn't have to do bitch work anymore.
Right.
That's true, yeah.
In the past, Nilrum was sort of like reaching out to different deities. You know, he kind of reached out to Malchus a little bit, then he sort of reached out to Ponos, and Ponos responded in a more favorable way than Malchus did. Is this still in the like exploration, feeling things out
No.
phase, or is he like committed to the Ponos thing?
He's committed to the Ponos thing. He kind of feels like it was fate because originally when he rolled the dice, literally, and was asked what he is acclimating towards, it wasn't the White Prince's god, and it wasn't the Stare, it was Ponos. He tried with Malchus. Malchus attempted to kill him, so he said, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Let's talk to Ponos.
Any concern that Ponos Rohi might not play well together?
Nope.
Cool. All right then. Our party arrives outside of Port Prince. The ship pulls in, Nilrum casts his spells, and we enter into the pirate base. Our other henchmen are still here, and everyone can pile on in and hang out for a hot minute.
Bobby got his cudgel.
Bobby gets his cudgel, walks around, slapping on his hand, walking up and down. He sees the new prisoner, obviously not part of the rest of the crew, maybe bound, at least being like guarded and looking sullen. Definitely not a new recruit. Bobby walks up to him and slaps his cudgel on his hand. Whap, whap, and looks at the new recruit, the new prisoner, and then looks to the captain. Should I put him in the chamber with Sharpay? Should I just give him a beating? Says Bobby.
Wait,
Jesus Christ, Bobby.
what are you doing in the chamber, Bobby?
Just what you told me to, Captain.
Oh, Sharpay's the
The accountant.
Sharpay's my
The accountant.
project, Captain. Yeah, don't worry about him.
No,
Ar-
let's
Archie looks at Bobby extremely proud.
put him somewhere else, at least until I have a chance to talk to him. He's
Yeah.
only a kid. Bobby,
I think
he's only a kid.
high value prisoners probably deserve a little bit more better treatment.
Don't rough him up,
Exactly.
Bobby. We're gonna sell this kid back to his family.
Bobby nods.
I really want to see him punch him once. Your right hook's gotten so much better, Bobby.
Oh well, to be fair, he is probably due a punch, Bobby. Go on.
Bobby
Make him roll for it,
will
man.
set
Yeah.
the cudgel down, crack his knuckles. You can see Barry is a little bit afraid, and Bobby gives a. It's sort of a.
But Barry, Barry? Don't be a coward. Take it like a person.
Bobby gives Barry a glancing blow to the chin. You know, it's a little bit further back than you would like. It's a little bit closer to the ear. It's not quite such like a shock, but it does ring Barry's ears. And Bobby like shakes his hand, having hit kind of the
I
wrong
bet
spot,
Barry
too
would
hard of
give
the
him
head.
give him a harder one, Captain. I bet Barry would punch Bobby's leg.
That was definitely, dude. I've seen Bobby do so much better than this. I'm actually so disappointed.
I'll
All right,
take.
well, Bobby, you can have another go if Barry gets one on you.
I'll take the ropes off of Barry. Come on, Barry.
Wait, Bobby, what do you say? You take one to give one?
Barry looks around, surrounded by pirates in the base. Yeah.
I'm not asking Barry. I'm asking Bobby if he's willing to let Barry punch him.
Of course,
If it means he can-
absolutely,
Oh, yeah.
100%. Yeah.
All right, Barry, give it your best shot.
I got 10 gold on Barry. I look around.
I'll take
Anybody
it.
wanna?
All right, fine. Yeah, 10 gold. I
And gold on Bobby. Yeah, I put him
10
on
gold
Bobby.
on Bobby as well. Yeah.
Let me just generate the rest of his
Oh,
stats
wait,
here.
no. I'm just taking bets. I go around everyone taking
Oh,
bets.
you're
I'll,
taking-
I'll,
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
collect the percentage. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Barry, you know, Bobby agrees to this because he's not a little bitch. He's got to show that he's a tough
Right.
guy, and so he'll stand there and let Barry take his very best shot. And Barry will land a much better blow on Bobby. You know, instead of back towards the ear, it's right on the chin, for about the same amount of damage, sending Bobby, you know, stumbling a wee bit. Who
Not bad.
cracks
Not
his
bad.
knuckles
Not bad.
and returns.
You gotta let Jan roll for Bobby's next shot.
All
Is
right.
that safe?
We don't want to kill him, but okay. Bobby has 6 strength, so he fights at -1 to hit with his fists.
6 strength.
Yep.
Yeah, Bobby wasn't strong.
I would like to cast
be fair-
Mons to assist Bobby.
I have been teaching him, to be fair.
That's true. Bobby is also only 16 years old, so he is a little bit young. I think Barry is probably closer to 17 or 18 right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Um,
How much HP do they both have?
Bobby has 6, Barry has 8.
Oh, I bet on the winning man, probably. All right, Poke. Throw it up.
Let's do it.
Let's see it.
Oh, there we
Ooh,
go.
Bobby,
It's
my man.
it's
That's
a,
the Bobby that I've raised.
yeah. Give me a D3 for blows for damage. Yeah,
Oh,
and with
God.
two hits to the face,
That's
Barry will
enough.
sort of stumble and call it a day.
All
He's not
right,
trying
I
to
pass
get
everyone's gold back around, and I pocket a little few for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Good job, Bobby.
Nice work, Bobby.
The party comes in to rest, relax, refresh some spells maybe, and
Well,
plot
hang on.
their
Once-
adventures.
Once we're kind of settled in, I'm gonna put the shield, the sword, and the helmet on like the big table that we all eat around,
Mm-hmm.
and say, "All right, well, what do we do with all this?" I like grab the sword and start like swinging it around.
No one will
How?
grab your hand and put it towards the shield with the sword in your hand. Keep it towards there. We don't want them beaconing us.
How
We're
far's
gonna put
the?
them
How far's the bubble or whatever?
in.
10, 15 feet, if I recall.
I have no idea.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right though. Keep it here, but
We're
can
gonna
you
want to
work
put
out
them
what these things
in.
do?
Yeah, eventually when I have more time, we're gonna want to put them in the lead-lined rooms for a few days.
Mm-hmm.
For I guess a few weeks while
I'm
we're
gonna.
gone.
I'll put the helmet on, Neil. Have a look around.
Well,
Yeah.
if you want to
Since-
use the ability, you're gonna be in the beacon range.
Oh shit, that's a good point.
We need to let the
These-
beacon wear
Don't do
off, I
this.
think.
Yeah,
You can't get rid of it.
not yet, but soon.
We could try, but I think the last time I tried it, the caster of the beacon spell was way
Here,
more
if you want to
powerful
do
than
this
me.
shit, let's go to the lead-lined room, and then you can test everything.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
We'll bring everything down there.
Excellent.
I would probably know silver or lead. There's 2 rooms. Which one do I think would prevent beacon?
They are both lined with silver and lead, a combination, just to block all the barriers.
Yeah, block all the things.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
You know, when we were coming into the base, I didn't say, so we can just test this later, but I wanted to see if maybe I could use the shield to get past the barrier. If I put it on like the point of the ship.
I was thinking about this. I don't actually know if you can because it's a real thing, but it is magic.
Yeah, maybe it just makes it become visible rather than removes it. I don't know.
Because it's a real wall.
But we're going in slow.
Yeah,
I
I'm
put
not
it at
sure.
the front of the ship to see if it'll let me
Yeah,
through.
I think the magical part is that it's transparent and you can travel through it, so it would just turn it back into a normal wall, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I was
maybe.
thinking.
Depends on how the spell actually works. Like if it's just a big fake wall.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the notes.
Wondrous Wall?
Wondrous Wall. That's the spell we're looking for.
There you go.
Wondrous Wall. Ooh. We have Reveal Wondrous Wall, but I don't have the Wondrous Wall spell itself written down. Here it is. Waltrude's Wall of Wonder. So let's see. It is solid. It is physical. It is real. It is invisible from one direction, but not the other. Anti-magic.
Also, Nilrum's not a fucking dummy. He knows if you're taking the shield to the bow of the ship, you have to bring all the other magic items anyways.
Yeah,
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been on top of all of these things here.
Unless we leave them in the lead room, right?
No, this is. I'm saying this is before.
He's doing
we
this when he was
came
coming in. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I
Gotcha.
forgot to mention it.
Sure.
Sorry, I know it's a bit of a finicky point, but it's actually quite important.
It's extremely important. I'm glad you brought it up. Yes. No. We have a problem.
Have we got a paradox?
Not quite. Maybe. The anti-magic shell will disrupt a portion of the illusion, the wonder wall spell. But the spell dispels itself when someone, is within the area, usually from the backside or whatever. So you will disrupt it on the front of the ship. So the wall disappears as you sail in. But then if the bottom of the ship is outside of the range of your shield, the wall down there will still be real, and the ship will just run into it. Or
it depends how far down the ship goes, or
right. And once the rest of the ship has sort of passed forward outside of the range of the thing,
you'll be stuck.
It'll
but
solidify.
At that point, could someone on the deck not keep walking down the deck so they're next to the wall? Which
in
will disable
theory,
it, right?
if it was
theory, you could do it,
prepared
yeah.
correctly and you have someone in the right spots all at the right time, you might be able to dissolve the wall as someone's just on that border of where
Hey, hang on, doesn't
the
that
thing
mean
is.
that if Wiley's still in the base or Bobby's still in the base, they could open it for us essentially by standing next to it?
They can, but we'll notice that the area where the boat comes in doesn't actually have a lot of land
Place for
area
them to
next to it for you to
stand in.
stand.
But in theory, if we could finagle something, that
Yeah,
would
if
be
you could
perfect.
We could row a skiff out to open the door, right?
You could row a skiff out, or you could get a 10-foot pole or something and stretch it out over here, and it would open the door for you.
Okay, so now I'm thinking we need to make some sort of weird bell system where I could jump off the ship, go onto the island, press some button hidden
Just
beneath
a
some
reminder, I don't
rocks.
think that you guys would be able to figure this out.
But in the meantime, the more pressing issue is you're just on the bow of your ship with the shield, and you
No,
do
I'm still
begin
gonna
to
be
clip through.
Casting the spell,
Mhm.
if that makes sense.
Well, then we're not going to be able to test, right? Because if Nilrum
Yeah,
casts
'cause
the
I don't know
spell,
why-
then
I don't think Norm would let John test it because he's going to make himself useless if he's doing this. And John was trying to be sneaky about it, but John really can't be sneaky about it because
it's really obvious. You'd be standing on the bow of
Yeah.
the ship with the shield.
I'm not trying to be too sneaky about it, to be honest.
well, and that's where Nilrum's going to be casting the spell because he has to be near it to do the thing. I think.
So you just cast it to kind of. To what?
I cast it to open the fucking door.
Yeah, but if I'm
No,
I want
understand.
to, I want to test if the shield can open the door for us.
Okay. Then test it.
But if you have foreseen what Neil's going to say and say you might destroy the ship if it's lower than 15 feet, then
I think
I
that
don't-
it gets tested.
I think you just test it. Yeah. Fuck it.
Yeah. And your ship will slam into a portion of rematerializing wall before it quickly fades again. And you will hear the bending and breaking of wood as the ship comes to a dead halt and the bottom of it caves in a little bit. Your ship is damaged and will need to be repaired. You'll have to be
That's
in
why you don't
base
fuck
for
around
at least
with
a week.
magic, John. Well, we have 2 ships, but yeah.
what's
true.
happened?
Yeah, I'll rush up from the below deck and be like, "What the hell? Did you not open the door, Neilrum?"
John wanted to test with his new magic shield.
why wouldn't you test it with a smaller John? Why wouldn't you test it with a small ship, John?
What do you mean? How am I meant to know this is going to happen?
This is a brand new ship that we just stole.
Yeah, I understand that sale.
Why don't
don't
you
need
guys
to
leave the
lecture me
magic
about it.
to me?
John, what is it? John,
and
what is
stop
it with
testing
you and
things.
destroying new stolen ships? I don't understand.
It's just bad luck. It's just bad luck. Lucky in love, unlucky in dice. Fine, Norum, you're right. I'll leave the magic to you.
The party heads downstairs into the sealed off rooms to go play with the anti-magic shell spell. Archie, it's up to you to fix the boat that John just
Yeah.
broke.
Yep, I got my shipwright
wait.
proficiency.
I don't think Archie's gonna. Archie can do what he wants, I guess. But I thought that we were gonna take the other ship and go to Alba and then let our crew fix the ship. Or is that not?
We can do
Does
that.
does Archie want to stay and fix it?
No.
Well, it depends how long it takes. If it's a few days, then I'd rather.
It'll
Take
take
the
about
big
a
ship.
week to get your shit fixed.
And
How long, Neil?
A week.
Okay.
It's not about a time thing, I don't think. I just don't think we want to take that ship, right? With all
You
our
want to take
crew?
the
Do
small ship on the next
Well,
section
yeah,
of
I'm
the
just
journey.
asking. It's up to John here.
Yeah, that's
do
fine.
we want to just take the big ship?
This place we're going. You think we should all go, Noah? Maybe you should go on your own. Or not?
How
I'm
am
not
I-
trying to. I'm not trying to get out.
How am I
of
going
it.
to get there?
Okay, yeah, I suppose. All right. Yeah, well, we can take the other ship. Archie, though,
Well, actually,
can the people here fix this thing without you?
leave. You guys can stay here. I'll take 3 of the crew members, and I can just take the other ship and just go.
I don't know how I feel about
Starting to
leaving
sound
you in
really
charge of
convoluted.
this.
Yeah,
I mean,
Let's all just.
we've gone to great pains to protect Nilrim, and then we're just going to send him off into the sea on his own. Like,
I agree. I agree.
Like, this is insanity. I'm sorry.
Archie, can you talk to some people here so they know what they're doing with the ship while we're gone?
I can probably do that right now.
Yeah, you can at least get them to, find with the crew that you have here. Since you're not taking this ship, some of them are going to know a little bit about this stuff. Wiley's got some training. They're not shipwrights. Like, they're going to need you to do some of the work for them. So maybe, like, stick around for 2 days to give them some direction and, like, take the proper measurements. But they can then, like, cut the boards that you would need and plane them down. And, they can do the bulk of the labor.
Okay. We'll do
Perfectly
that.
fine.
Down in the secret chamber below, John will put on the helmet while keeping the shield far away. Is that correct?
Yes. And take a look at Sail and Norum.
You can immediately see spellcasting auras around the both of them, and they seem to be fairly similar in strength and power level.
I just
can
sort of
also-
innately understand that.
Yeah, there's sort of like an intensity to the color that swirls around them, and you innately understand that the brightness of that color, or the intensity of that color, more accurately, is related to the spellcasting strength. It's a little
Does
bit
it
weird on your head.
distinguish between wizards and clerics?
It does. Yes, you can see the clerical aura around PotatoMcWhiskey and the arcane aura around MrMouton.
Okay. What about if I look at the sword or the shield? Do they register as magical?
The shield does not.
While John's looking at me, I assume we're talking during this whole thing. He's like saying, "I see auras and stuff like that." I'll like walk into the aura of the shield.
And you'll just see him just like clip and vanish, and he just looks like regular old Sail, good old buddy old pal.
I can still see normally though through this helmet. Yeah.
Yeah, you have normal
Yeah.
vision. I mean, your eyes are glowing pretty blue right now, and so you can see things as they, you can see a person, you can see a wall, but then you see like a superimposed section of color on top of them.
What about like, I was trying to sneak up on someone wearing one of these helmets. What's my like side vision and my ability to hear? How is that impaired by the helmet?
Just like normal helmet vision, so it will definitely reduce your peripheral, and it will muffle sounds quite a bit.
Okay, that's good to know. Seems it works like we thought. I can see that you're a cleric. I can see that you're a wizard. Do magical items glow as well?
Yes, you can see the aura of spellcasters and enchanted objects.
See objects. Yeah.
Can he see the spellcasters even with their armor spells on, or does that negate it?
The armor spell does kind of confuse what you're seeing. There's multiple colors, and it takes you a moment to like sort out what's going on. So you'll see the spells, and you'll see the spellcasters. Maybe if you stacked enough magic on someone, it would be so confusing that you couldn't tell if they were a caster. But with just one armor spell, it's not. For you, just using this helmet for the first time, it's a little confusing. But you get the impression that if you were wearing this all the time, you'd be able to figure it out pretty quickly.
And Archie looks normal, yeah.
I guess so. Yeah.
They're
From his giant shiny
he's
head.
He's not normal. He's got his armor spell on him, so there's clearly that enchantment happening. But there's something else, and you can't quite place it. You're too new with this thing. You can't really sort out what the fuck is happening with Archie. But
does it
there
look
is
like?
something else happening with the armor around him. Like if you look at your arm and you can
Huh?
see the armor spell on you, there's sort of like a
Yeah.
maybe what would you call, like a, not a violet, but more of like a deep purple around your hand. And then you look at Archie and like there's the same deep purple, but there's some sort of like underlying, like one of those things that's hard to explain. Like if you get a new set of glasses and like your vision just feels a little bit weird, but you can't call it
Yeah.
out. You can't say it's like bending here, but your eyes are like
Yeah.
straining to adjust. It's that level of like something's off, but I can't quite describe it or place it. There's something weird with Archie.
Okay. How intense is the sword?
Kind of
Right.
hard to judge. I guess it's where's the list here? Faint?
Fuck, I don't think I have
I'll-
identify yet.
I'll take the helm off and put it back and say, yeah, it seems to do what we thought. Can't go
Yeah.
anywhere near one of these fuckers wearing this.
If we're staying 2 days, I have the beacon spell.
Mm-hmm.
Is it impossible? I assume it's impossible to remove beacon with the beacon spell, correct?
Mm-hmm.
But we have
not
dispel
remove
magic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna see if Sale can take as many dispel magics as he can, and we'll just start throwing it at it.
I can take 2 per day. And I
So we
have
can do
one
4
right now.
total in 2 days.
I think 5 because I already have one clocked.
Oh,
It's good for getting 2 sleeps, basically.
What are you
Hey,
going
what
to
was that
start
cover?
with?
Well, I was talking to Nilram.
what do you want to start with, Captain? Do you want to do the helmet, or do you want to do the
The sword.
You want to do the sword, but you don't use the sword.
Nah, I could use the sword if it's magical. I mean, the helmet. What use have we got for that? Really?
No,
Ident-
for a second.
Identifying magic items, perhaps.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, actually, that
we
would be the
don't-
most useful, I think.
Yeah.
Also, we're not the ones who have to use these items. You know, having someone up on the crow's nest with an anti-magic shield could be pretty good against lightning bolt.
Well, the
having
anti-magic
someone-
shield doesn't have the beacon on it. We can take that anyways.
That's smart,
like-
Sale.
Someone
Yeah.
wearing the helmet of perception with maybe like a siege weapon commander can pick out spellcasters at a range and target siege weapons at them. You know, there's lots of uses for these things that aren't just us.
Let's try the helmet. I just think it'll be really nice for us to find magic items in the future.
Yeah.
Sure, I will attempt to dispel magic on it. Are we doing anything special? Are we like studying it and you're like explaining to me like in depth how the beacon spell works and stuff like that?
I'll probably explain to you how the beacon spell works, but I don't think it's going to give you any mechanical bonuses. I think you're just going to be rolling for a... I don't know who did the beacon on this item. So
Well,
that's going to depend.
last time I did it, I think it was like 10 to 15 leveled spellcaster. So I'll try dispel.
Roll high.
What's he got to roll, Koibu?
There is
D20.
You need to roll an 11 or higher, and it's minus the difference in the spellcaster, the original spellcaster's level versus his.
I think I need to roll a 19 or a 20 to dispel.
Yeah,
this.
it might be. Well, you're higher level now than perhaps last time you did it.
what's
Yeah,
your
last time it was just a 20.
Oh,
what was your
okay.
level? What is your level now?
6.
Okay.
And I think last time you said they were like 15-ish, or I don't even actually know.
I didn't write it down, but I think it was 6. It's either 15 or 16 because that's the break point between 8th level spells. I think it was 16. So you need to roll d20 minus 16 plus 6, and you need an 11 or higher.
It needs
That
20.
doesn't sound right.
No. Sorry.
It's D20 minus 10, and he needs an 11. So yeah, he only succeeds on 20.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, get to rolling.
No.
We're going to be here 2 more days, so
Yeah.
4 more.
And you'll try again, and it'll fail, and it'll fail.
Okay.
I think a good rule to prevent dispel magic spam is that similar to identify and picking locks, If you fail, you cannot try again until the next level. If you try to identify an item and you fail your check, you need to level up or have some sort of change in the situation before it'll work again. Same thing with picking locks for rogues. I think the same is implied with Dispel Magic, so you can't have a first level wizard or a 5th level wizard just spam Dispel on something made by a 20th level wizard.
I kind of disagree a little bit, because if you're a rogue, you're not going to get better at just picking that random lock, whereas the magic, it has a chance to work, right? But I think it's dumb to just sit there and spam for a 20.
Exactly.
However,
It depends how you interpret the chance, because the chance might just be, are you good enough at
I guess, yeah.
like understanding the spell to dispel it?
Right.
Is
sort
it
of like,
possible for Nilrim to learn a remove beacon thing eventually, I guess, then? That'll always like have a chance to succeed? Because otherwise, we're never going to be able to remove beacons from any of these items almost ever. Right?
if you want to create a more precise, more specific version of Dispel Magic that focuses only on beacons, and you have an appropriate library from which to research that spell, then we could work on that. And we'll do we'll do spell learning checks and blah blah blah, and like come up with that stuff. But you'll need a proper research library.
Perfect. Can you try a Dispel Magic on the sword then?
Totally. Yeah, sure. That's a separate item altogether.
Okay.
No.
Should have let me roll that one as well.
Aiming low, boys. I kind of agree with the like once per level feels a little bit too punishing. I feel like maybe because like let's say I spent like a year attempting to dispel a beacon effect. I feel like eventually I might make progress. So
the beacon effect will wear off eventually. It'll wear out. It's 1 week per level. So this should, if they're a 16th level caster, only last 16 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unless there's some different level of beacon spell or something like that.
Well, we just keep checking them every time we come back here, then, right?
Yeah. So
chances
in 16
are it's going to
weeks,
be a lot less than 16 weeks.
Yeah, in 16 weeks or so, 100%.
Wait, don't we know when the White Prince refreshes all the beacons? Isn't that when he has that big like convention when he invites all the wizards?
It is. It just seems weird because I think that's once a year, whereas the beacon spell only lasts 16 weeks if it's a 16th level caster.
If only you had someone with inside knowledge.
Oh.
Well, Barry's parents will tell us soon enough.
Yeah, true. All right, we head out to the Alba Island.
Yeah. We go and see MrMouton's boyfriend.
All right. Why don't we take our first break here as the party's played with some magical items, sorted out what's going to happen with the ship, and it's just going to be the four of you piling into the long ship?
The old ship. Yeah.
All right. We're going to take a break, and when we come back on the other side, we'll go check out Alba Island. See you guys then. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tides of Death. Our party is going to set sail for Alba Island. It's not too terribly far from where you are right now. It's just going to be a few days along the coast. No need even to skip through the middle to get there because it's so close.
Wait, I just want to say that we moved Billy, I don't remember his name,
Barry.
to Barry, one of the lead-lined rooms, and Bobby is going to be tasked with keeping him in a... And I'll tell him this. Do not fucking hit him, Bobby, or I'm going to hit you for every fucking bruise that's on him. Feed him. Be nice to him. Do not let him leave that room. If you let him leave that room, so help me God. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Give him a little head ruffle.
Alba Island. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 islands from where you are now. It'll take you like 3 days to get there.
Real quick, did we want to bring like 1 or 2 people just to man the sails? I guess we don't need it if we're in this wind.
We'll bring 2 other people just in case.
For the sails, gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, just to counterbalance, that's 2 more people to get in shit in the island, like to get in trouble. Assuming that we let's pick 2 well-behaved people.
They can stay and watch the boat too, because we kind of have that issue of our boat sometimes getting locked up.
We'll take like faceless NPCs, I guess.
Yeah, but what are they going to do if God finds it?
Nobody's faceless. In the Discord, we have a crew member naming channel. So I'm going to throw out 2 crew members that we're going to be taking with us. I'm going to start from the top. We're going to take Ethan and Blake. and those two can watch over the ship and make sure nobody locks it up. And
Well, what are they going to do if a guard turns up?
if a guard turns up and is like, "Hey, what are you doing here? What do you think they should do, Captain? It's your call." I think they should probably just kill the guard.
If they can.
Well, look at them. Ethan and Blake, they're some of the strongest people we have.
Fine. Is it not safer to use the spell, though? That's guaranteed. We can get the boat wherever we want. We don't have to make our way back out to wherever it was we parked it. There's no risk of goblins finding it and killing the guys there.
Absolutely, that's fine. It's your call. We don't have to take Ethan and Blake if you don't want to.
We can take them, but I don't think we should leave them guarding the ship on their own.
Okay. I'll use the spell when we get there then.
All right.
Okay.
Our party sets out for Alba Island. It is a few islands down the chain, and as you've heard, it's almost inaccessible by sailing ship. If we were to take a look at the crude map that someone has drawn for you at some point up here, you can see that Alba Island sort of, the tides come in this direction. And so if you're sailing, it's really hard to like turn against or perpendicular to the wind with the waves crashing perpendicular to the side of your boat and make it all the way up here. Under the right circumstances, with a really, with nice triangular sails and a really good boat for all these things, it could be done. But for most ships, especially like the clipper ship you just picked up, making it to this island, to this dock right here, is almost impossible. So your your long ship, which is mostly oar powered, can make this angle nice and easily. And as the town comes into view with your little eyeglass, you can scan the horizon, and you will quickly notice there are no flags of the White Prince anywhere to be seen. There seems to be no Inquisitor. This town is classified as where'd my notes go? As a dock town. We've mentioned before that there are roughly 3 levels of cities that you come into. There's harbors that have Inquisitors on them and a large White Prince population, but they also have lots of supplies and you can repair large ships. There's ports, which have usually not Inquisitors, but White Prince guards. They can repair medium ships and they have some supplies. And then there's smaller dock towns like this, which have little to no White Prince soldiers in them or troops or forces whatsoever. They can do small repairs here and there, but, nothing major. And their supplies are limited. This is one of these dock towns. There's clearly no White Prince settlement anywhere near here. And it would be hard for the White Prince's ships to get to, because they're all those big, fast clipper ships that have trouble navigating this passage right here, especially with the currents around this area. You're all
It's a great island.
pretty
this is cool.
solid sailors, and you've got the ghost rowers with you, so you can make it there. The White Prince would have been hard-pressed. The downside, though, is that you really need those rowers to make it all the way to the dock. And in order to pull up to it, if you want to dock actually at the town proper, you're going to definitely risk someone seeing your phantom rowers.
Well, we don't, because we're going to use the ship in the bottle. We're going to walk in.
Right. Alba Island is deeply mountainous, as you can see by all of this stuff right here. It is not going to be just as easy as those other places where you're able to like pull up to the harbor or pull up to the like an area and walk along the coast. It's deeply mountainous. As you sail up from below, you can see that there's no spot where you could stop and then walk along the coast. You might be able to maybe navigate it, but it would take you days, and you'd risk falling into the sea in dangerous areas. Do we have
enough men that we could row it for the last part ourselves or not?
There are 4, 5, 6 people here.
I mean,
I think if the White Prince
is
isn't
fine
here,
if
fuck
we-
it.
yeah,
We
yeah.
don't care. Yeah.
we don't really
You don't
care.
care?
Might give us some credence.
If we
We
get dock
go.
at night is also an option.
Yeah.
Less people
Or we
around.
could use the fog cloud to disguise our entry.
We could, but Koibu's making it seem like it's gonna be really long, and the fog cloud doesn't last super long.
Well,
Fuck it, we just go.
you go in the
If that's fine
daytime?
with the party. Well, when does the captain want to go?
No, I think let's wait for night, just to be safe.
Yeah, we'll wait for it.
Yeah. There's no reason not to.
Okay. Wait for night and then pull up to the dock.
Yeah.
It's just wigging out on me. Let me refresh it here. There we go. Now we can scroll. Look, there, much better. You can pull up to the island and the town late at night. It's dark. There's a lantern hanging at the end of the dock to help guide ships in if they're coming around, or at least to make sure no one runs into it by accident. And in the dark of night, you will arrive. You can pull up, and you'll hear the thumping of boots coming down the dock as a single watchman arrives to inspect the ship. You can easily, have stopped beating your drums by now, and they won't see the ghostly rowers. They'll just see the 6 of you on the boat. The watchman is a young woman, maybe 23 years old, and she has this vacant, hollow look in her eyes as she looks over your ship.
Sure.
The 6 of
Well,
you.
I step forward next to her. Hail.
Hail, traveler.
You all right? Not getting much sleep?
It's a long night. Welcome to Julius Docktown. What's your business?
Trading, buying a bit of this, selling a bit of that.
Normal speak up. Supposed to meet a man in a tavern?
That's his own business. He's always meeting strange men in taverns, actually.
I'm the captain.
No problem, I'm just saying.
Docking fees are 2
I'll hold
silver,
out.
plus 1 silver per head that comes on shore.
Oh, she's talking. I'll hold out. Probably just give her 2 gold.
She'll take the 2 gold, look at the boat, and just pockets it, dips her head in your direction, and turns
night.
and heads back down the dock in the other direction.
What's up with her?
She didn't give us any paperwork. I think we were just scammed. She
No,
just took
this
our
is no
money.
difference in
Hey, you. Lady,
She stops and throws a look over her shoulder.
you not got any paperwork for us or something?
She pulls out the 2 gold. Thought this was your paperwork.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Kinda
Captain.
odd, yeah.
Good point. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
I'm not going to ask any further than that.
Yeah, that's good. Well,
We pack the drums on Archie's back, and I guess we go.
Your 2
No.
members, Ethan and Blake, will hang out on the boat. They look around a little
They can come
uncomfortably.
into town. They can come into town if they
I
want.
don't know if you need me to state this, but I'm going to be casting Deep Pockets every single day.
Yeah, we got it.
Currently lasts 16 hours, or sorry, 18 hours.
And so you cast it in the morning, and you cast it, one day you take 2 castings, the next day you take 1 casting, and you alternate.
That's fine. If you want, if it's not going to run into any crazy issues, I can just cast it. Well, no, it is. Because if we get ambushed or something, I'm going to have to pick up all my shit. So yeah, I'm just going to cast it one day with 1, the next day with 2, and I'm going to alternate
Perfect.
permanent.
Great.
Um,
We will quickly lose track of which day is which. So on any given day where we don't know what's going on, we'll just roll a
It's
die to
1,
see which day you had to memorize, so we know how many
And the
spell slots
spell
you
that I
got.
will take instead of it currently
Mhm.
would be Fog Cloud. So I won't have
Okay.
a Fog Cloud if I need 2 Deep Pockets.
A modifier for that dice roll is if we were preparing for an operation, that would probably be a 1 cast day
Sure.
because he would prepare.
That sounds like a reasonable thing.
As we're walking into town. All right, so guys, the only reason we're here is so Norum can meet this guy. So
Yeah,
don't
no
cause
funny
any
business.
trouble. Don't cause any trouble. Oh, now you don't want to cause any funny business. Yeah, well, cause no trouble. Go and enjoy yourselves. Blake and Ethan, I want you to be back at the ship tomorrow morning. Might be we're staying longer, but I'll come and check on you there. If we're not leaving, I'll tell you, and you can go back to doing whatever.
I'll hand them 3 gold each. I expect what you don't spend back. And I expect you not to spend it all. Figure out a happy medium.
As they go off, I'm gonna just sort of walk next to Norum and say, "So this meeting, this a big secret? Can I come along?"
You can come along.
Okay. Good.
Normal
thought
put
we-
his arm around you. Say, you're
Did
my
we
closest
all?
ally, Captain. Whisper.
We all want to go?
If you guys want to come, you can. I don't care, but probably just me and the captain for the meeting.
I want to scare this guy.
I don't want to scare the
But,
chick.
Well, I mean,
It's a chick.
it's an opportunity for me to learn more
shrug.
about. Or am I in this conversation actually?
Well, no, not really, but I can
Not at
widen
the start,
you
but then
to-
yeah, we'll Nolan will probably say that he only wants to go with the captain to have the conversation. But if you guys want to come to the bar, there's no reason you shouldn't.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, let's do it like that. That way, if anything kicks off.
Well, what I wanted to say was, like, meeting a high-ranking cleric who is not aligned with a stare, maybe I could learn more information about my situation from him. That's why I want to meet.
You mind if I do my conversation first, and then I'll do an introduction for you?
Yeah, please. That would be awesome.
Okay.
I'm coming with you for that first conversation, though, Nolan.
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
I have nothing to hide.
Do you want Archie along with this?
Yeah,
you guys are
said
gonna
look at
come.
me in the bar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Be in the
And
bar
then
for
we'll
a bit.
introduce you.
I'll turn to Archie and hold out my fist and like, okay, this time, no trouble. Okay. We're
No trouble.
Actually,
No
not
fist
this
bump
time.
him.
So what's the name of the bar, Nolan?
The Crimson Drops.
Well, convenience. It's fate.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. I have a look at like Blake and Ethan. Where are they going? Are they going into a different bar?
They're sort of just following at the back of the party, taking a look. The area is pretty dark here. The clouds overhead tonight are quite thick, so not a lot of moonlight or starlight comes on through. You can really only navigate your way by what buildings have lights in them already. Since none of you guys are carrying a light source, there's the big lantern hanging out at the end of the dock, and then a few lights on in town. And so it's a slow going as you creep your way across the dirt patio that would make up the general dock area.
They can come into the bar with us then as well.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Are there any like fireflies or anything like that around?
No.
Okay.
You'll notice fairly quickly there's a fountain near in this sort of harbory area. I'm going to say harbory, but it's not an actual proper harbor, but the port section of town. There is a fountain that has no water running, and you do see like a curled up person like in a little ball sleeping right next to the fountain. As you walk past it in the direction of the tavern, where you can see like lights.
2 gold on them.
Yeah, they don't even wake up. They'll find it in the morning. But dock the gold. You can see the lights flickering in the tavern, and you can hear sort of like the clattering of dishes coming from that direction. And so you know where you're heading, but you'll pass some other buildings on the way, and you'll see some oddities around this town. There are more than a few people sleeping in the streets tonight, and the buildings all have, like, over their windows are, like, large bars. The shutters that don't have, like, glass in them have metal bars that cross them that would make it difficult to climb in and out of windows. And you can see that the doors leading into various buildings here all have locks on them. Not every door in this time period has a lock. Locks are fucking expensive. You might have, like, a bar that you place on the back, but this area has, a couple more locks than you might expect. Like,
No one will
deadbolt
kick one of the
style
people
locks.
sleeping awake.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the guy
Yeah.
you threw gold on.
What?
I'll point to the gold. Why is everybody sleeping out here? What's with all the locks and the bars?
You got no home, he says. He grabs the gold and, thank you, my lord. Sits up all the way. Slowly gets to his feet.
I'll point.
Were
Is
you
this
born here?
normal? Yeah.
Aye. Normal as you
I-
can be for Julius.
What
It
happened? to
always
your
been
home?
like this.
Aye.
You had a family. Where did they live?
You come here to throw gold and shit on us, he says, and he throws the gold in the direction of your feet.
No, I'm
Inner
genuinely
island men,
asking.
you're all the same. And he spits it in your direction.
I'll spit back, but I want to aim
Hey.
for the eye.
What the fuck you spitting at? Archie. I give him a nod.
I'll walk towards him menacingly.
I'm rolling my spit attack to see if I hit him in the eye.
Please do.
-4 for called shot.
You do not hit him in the eye, but some of your spittle will graze his face. He sees Archie approach, and he, his posture dips, his shoulders hunch. He takes a few steps back and puts his hands in front of his face. No trouble, no trouble.
Listen
before
here, loser.
Wait, what do you mean no trouble? You just spit on the captain of my crew, and you're saying no trouble now? What
Hit
the
him
fuck
once,
kind of
Archie.
shit is that?
Give him a shiner.
I'll grab him by the neck.
Nice.
kind of goes with
Oh,
it,
that's
trying
funny.
not to provoke any further anger.
Where the fuck did your family live?
Here, we're from Julius.
On the streets?
Aye.
I'm not gonna hear this from you. I grew up on the streets, and even I learned not to fucking spit at people. What is wrong with you?
He's an inner islander. Can't you hear it in his accent? He's one of them.
I'll pick up the
He's
gold.
one of the White
Yeah,
Prince's slaves.
I'm adding my gold back.
Okay.
Listen here, you little shit. This crew. You know what? Never mind. I'll drag him over to Captain John Winters.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll kind of force him on his knees.
Nice. I slap him across the face. Just and when he's on his knees, I throw some silver at him and say, "Clean yourself up." And I walk
You
off.
fucking bum.
Mutters something under his breath and goes about picking up the silver as you leave.
Oh, did I hear him? Oh,
Did you-
20, sorry.
You got lucky. All right, let's keep going. This place is fucking weird. What's going on here? Maybe your friends got more influence in the sound than we thought.
If this comes back to bite us in the ass, I want to point out I had no part in the trouble that you guys just caused.
Oh, okay. Well,
You
well
spit on
done,
him,
Sale.
Sale.
Whoa, that was defensive spittle, okay? Your man takes a punch at you, you punch back.
We'll keep going.
You make your way to the Crimson Drops. It's a tavern here, right in the middle of this whole port area. And inside, you can see the flickering of candles and a big fire in the hearth. There's maybe half a dozen folks scattered around in the area, in the common room, mostly clumped together. There's 4 people at one table, and there's 1 person at the bar, and then there is a clerical-looking figure tucked next to the fireplace, but like the side and slightly behind it. The fireplace protrudes a little bit, shining light out into the room, and this person is sitting sort of in the corner where that cone of light coming from the fireplace casts the darkest shadows. They wear the unmistakable sign of Ponos around their neck, a little spiral made out of purple, some sort of bent metal, somehow dyed with that purple color.
I'm gonna look at John. I'm gonna put my hand on him and say, I'm gonna cast a spell on you, okay?
All right.
I cast reduce. I'm gonna reduce him 10%, make him a little bit smaller. Okay. Just want to make you less threatening, John. Let's go. Let's have a talk, and I'll point to the bar. Archie, Sale, I'll do an introduction. I'll bring you over. You'll know the sign.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm annoyed about that spell, but I won't say it in this moment. I walk behind Noran towards this guy.
Okay. Ethan and Blake head to the bar as well, trying to avoid what all is going on. The 2 of you approach. The cleric,
Norm will pull out the chair and sit down.
cleric will look up at you and glance over to John and glance over to the other people you came with. Archie and Sale are going to the bar, right?
Yep. And I
We have cards. Can we play cards together so we can be distracted and not get into trouble?
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
We
Okay.
also play Knuckles again.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. True.
The cleric gets up as you begin to pull out your chair and gives you a dip of the head. You must be the one I'm waiting for.
It is I, the great Merlin.
Hmm.
He chuckles.
And he looks over to John. Is this your manservant?
No,
This is my-
it's the other way around. I'm his
This is my
captain.
captain.
Nice to meet you. Name's Waltrude. I hold our hands to shake.
He reaches out a hand to both of you. Vincent, pleasure to meet you. Vincent, the cleric of Ponos, is a short gentleman, maybe 5'3", 111 pounds or so, somewhere in his 30s. Can I get a perception check for any more details and what you can pick up of this shadowy figure?
Got it all.
Oh, yeah. You will very quickly notice Nilrum, although I will still want John's roll. See if he notices too.
Oh, okay. No.
You can't make this out, John, so, try not to listen.
Oh.
But Nilrum, you can spot that this man is definitely half elven in nature. As he reaches out to your hands, you can just feel the thinness of his bones, sort of like the tightness around his wrists, the high cheekbones. The hood that he wears covers his ears, but you're pretty certain this guy's a half-elf. And he sits back down, motioning for both of you to sit with him. Well,
I'll sit.
Take a seat. So, Vincent, what's this all about? We went out of our way a long way to get here.
it's not every day that someone makes such magnificent sacrifices to Ponos.
John knows about this, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I saw it on the roof, right? Of the
Normal.
tower, that's what he's talking about, yeah?
Yeah. Normal smile.
I say, well,
Reward
my
is,
friend here does have some very obscure interests.
The reward's doing it alone, I think.
That's wonderful to hear. It's so hard to find good help these days, isn't it?
Normal shrug. Actually found pretty good help recently. From my captain, I'll point over to the other crew members. They're all pretty good, but I can see
Probably,
that,
yeah, hard to find people if you spend your days torturing folk, I imagine.
Captain, let's calm it down there.
Sorry. No judgment.
That's okay. It's good for them. They don't realize it in the moment, of course, but the pain that they feel, it motivates them. It drives them to do great things. No one that has ever lived a happy life has ever made anything of themselves. You're doing the Lord's work, Merlin. Captain Waterford.
Actually, Nilram, but he told me as much. He said, I think you called me blessed child. Normal smile a little bit.
Well, you are the one who reached out to our dear savior. What is it that you want?
Normal shrug. Tell you the same thing I told him. Kind of just do it for fun.
You know, I mentioned already we don't often get good devotees. I would love to persuade you to come more closely into the fold. There's very little we need of you. No tasks, no petty missions, no gods pestering you at the shoulders, asking you for this, that, or the other thing. Your heart is already in the right place. It would be nice, though, to have a clearer view of you, and with the appropriate oaths and symbols marking you as one of our own. Our Lord
Listen,
Ponos
Vince.
could more easily see your actions. He gives like a darting glare in the direction of the captain.
You want
Of
to wear
course it
like
would-
an amulet? Like the Ponos symbol, or what are you asking for here?
Words of
I won't lie.
fealty, forswearing all other deities other than Ponos, and branding upon you his symbol, so it may never be removed.
Yeah, Vince. Is it it's okay if I call you Vince? Listen,
My name
My
is
soul.
Vincent. Father
It's in-
Vincent.
my soul, it's in, it's in high regard. There's Ponos here. He's not the only one making this kind of offer to me, so
I don't think he's
I'm not
making that offer to you,
offering-
Captain.
I don't want to offend anyone. I just laying it out there that I don't know what you've got going on. I'm not going to be doing that. I'm not going to be getting branded. I'm happy to let my friend here talk to you, do what he wants, but just so we're all clear here. My soul, you and your God can keep.
Norm will give
keep-
Vincent like a,
Perhaps, Captain Waterford, this conversation makes you too uncomfortable. You should join your friends at the bar. Don't worry,
If you-
Ponos wants nothing with you.
Vince, if you don't mind, I'd just like to keep an eye on what's going on here. Like I said, no judgment. I've been through some crazy shit in my day. I just want to make sure that my friend here is okay and that you're not leading him down a merry path, if you know what I mean.
If Nilram has no problem with you being here, I have no problem as long as you stop interrupting.
That's the last thing I'm going to say on it.
He looks
I'm
back
used
to
to it.
Nilram.
I do have one question before we do anything. Norm will think back to when Ponos told him the name of what he believes to be a dragon. It was what was the first part?
Telemachium.
Telemachium?
Telemachy?
Yeah, he was
Telemachy.
Telemachy.
Hello, Maki.
Telomachy.
Telenaki, I have it written down. I think it was an N.
Is a Telenaki dragon, correct?
Telomaki.
Telomachy dragon.
Hello, Maki.
Nilrim will hush his voice and I guess like ask him to come closer
We'll lean in.
so nobody can hear. I'll lean in and have you ever heard of the Telemachy dragon?
By legend and reputation.
Can you tell me on it?
Great beast that lives beneath the sea.
Do you believe it's real?
Yes, most certainly. Although, like many great beasts, there are periods of slumber and periods of activity. A great many things ascribed to Telemachy are simply coincidence. If he is awake, it is awake now. It has a great reach. If it still slumbers, quite a bit less so. What is your interest?
Now I'll tell
with...
you this. Well, we'll get to that later. I'm willing to wear the symbol, spread the good word of Ponos. Don't want to become a cleric. I don't want to feel chained down, if that makes sense. But I can swear to Ponos that I'm not going to go and fraternize with other gods.
If you accept the brand and swear off all other deities, high and low, not only will Ponos more happily smile upon you, but he will gift you something I don't understand, but I've been instructed to find on your behalf.
Nilrim will think for a second.
Ponos
I
would
kind
like
of already...
to see and feel through your eyes and your heart. Watch the mayhem firsthand. No other requirements, just that you join spiritually with him. No duties, just allow him to view through you.
He just wants to see the pain and suffering I cause? Question.
Eyes and ears are important, and you have been a wonderful agent.
How about not a brand? How about a holy symbol? Or a symbol? I ask. Already doing it for fun. Maybe down the line, I'd be more willing to be... What I'm trying to get at here is I just don't want to feel like, chained down by it. If that makes sense.
You are, of course, free to continue your rampage without any interference. Ponos and I would be pleased to see what more is to come. The brand is a slight chain that cannot be denied. It prevents you for all time from joining with other deities, and it does allow his lordship to witness. But perhaps the gift in exchange would be something that might wet your whistle.
Let me
Do you
hear it.
have a moment?
I do.
He gets up, drops a couple of silver coins on the table, and will head out through the side door of the building.
I'll look at the silver coins. What's the, do I know where these are from? I doubt that they're from the Dardanelles.
They are from the Dardanelles. They get the White Prince's face stamped right on them.
Interesting.
They'll take you into the alley outside the building. You'll notice that there is another sort of like coughing person over here who's got a blanket huddled around them next to some water barrels, and they're just like kind of hacking up a wet sounding lung. And
I'll ask him, are you from here?
The person in the alleyway?
No. The cleric
Oh,
as we're
cleric.
walking.
The cleric bobs his head. Yes. This is my home. From deeper inland, of course. I've come here to this bar to meet you. My family hails back on this island some 5 generations.
The elven side or the human side?
The human side.
Where's the
I-
elven side from? If it's not a point of contention, I don't mean to make you uncomfortable. I apologize.
I am a cleric of Ponos and a child of suffering. The story of my parents' union is not a pleasant one. I have no problem telling it if you have no problem hearing of violence and murder.
I'll look to John. You want to hear the story or you want to...
Yeah, I'll hear a story.
All right, we'll hear it.
He tells you a story of his father, who who was a human that lived in this island, was a pirate, and they came across a ship one day that was transporting cargo and passengers from one place to another, leaving the Dardanelles and heading outward. They boarded it, took everyone hostage. Aboard was an elven woman who he took into captivity, and that was Vincent's mother. She didn't live very long after Vincent was born, so he never really knew her, but that is his origin. His father has, forsworn him and threw him cast him completely aside. Didn't want some half-elven scum that just happened to arrive from the brutal situation that occurs with pirates and elves.
What's your father's name? Wiley?
His father's name was Homer.
Homer what? Or was he
No
low-
last
low
name,
one?
no noble family.
I know. Well, what have you got for me here?
He'll lead you to a barrel, sort of down the street a little bit, tucked between a whole bunch of these other barrels that stacked around to gather rainwater in case of a fire, and go and sort of pop off the lid. And inside this barrel is a young person, a girl about 16 years old, tied up. She looks up at the 3 of you. I've been told that this child is the one you're looking for. As a good cleric, I have not asked why or how, or for what purpose.
Well, maybe she's smart, Milram.
That's what I think it is, Captain. I'll cover the barrel. All right, where's this brand go at? I don't really mind Ponos viewing what I do. Maybe it'll lead me to more boons in the future, but again, I do this because I like it, not because I'm looking for anything.
Let me prepare the ritual. Tomorrow, after nightfall, meet me here. He points back towards the bar. I will have a room and a ritual prepared. Your friends are encouraged to come and witness, but not required, of course.
What
The brand you can place anywhere on your body that you would like.
what circle of spells do you know?
I am familiar with the first 2 and have recently learned the 3rd.
None. Okay. Prayer ritual. Will this allow me to commune?
You can
to
always
Ponos as
commune
well?
with Ponos. You've been doing it for a while now. But as you said, you ask for no chains, no tethers, and in exchange there are but this one gift. The more you chain yourself to Ponos, the more he will ask of you, and the more he will give. But we recognize your free agency, would not want to impose.
Good. I'll help the girl out of the barrel.
Yep. You can pop the lid off again. Her hands are just bound behind her back. Her feet are tied together. It's pretty easy to pop her out and undo the binds on her if you'd like.
Holy
She-
shit.
15, 16, something like that.
Is she elven? Is she human?
She is human.
I'll ungag her. Now, who are you? Where are you from?
My name is Sylvie, she says, looking around. I'm from August.
Where do I know? Is that to the east, south, inner island?
Let's see. You know that there's a place called Port Augustus on Summerland, but there's also a town there called Port Julia. And here you are on Julius Docktown, and she's talking about another Augustus. There's some very similar naming conventions between the island of Summerland and the island of Alba, and it's not quite clear which one she's from.
I'll ask. Are you from Summerland?
She shakes her head.
Are you from Alba?
The heart of Alba.
Anon.
She
Come to the
quickly
tavern.
shuts her mouth.
Yeah, I need a drink.
The
Yeah, we need
cleric
a
will
drink.
settle a hand on her shoulder before you take her away. Not to be discourteous, but tit for tat. Tomorrow?
Respectfully, I'll move his hand. I'll put my hand out. You have my word. We'll stay in the tavern.
Okay. A single nod from the cleric, who then gives you a deep bow and disappears through the dark alleyways, allowing
Is
you
the
to
gal
reach.
back in the barrel, or is she coming with us? Sorry.
Come with us.
Nice.
The girl comes with you, and you all head into the tavern. While we're here,
Hey,
why don't we?
kid.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
No.
How did you find yourself in that barrel?
Jumped in it, Captain.
That man took me
When?
last couple weeks ago. I think it's been a while since I've been in there.
Did he feed you?
She shakes her head. No,
So
no.
you've been in the
he-
barrel
he-
for a couple of weeks,
I think so.
and you haven't eaten.
He's fed me and
All right.
watered
Well,
me
listen.
and let me out to use the bathroom.
We'll get you some food.
Are
and
you
something to
my
drink.
owner now? She says,
No.
confused.
Nothing
Frog,
like that.
I don't really
Come with
know
us.
yet.
I'll go into the
So
tavern.
you might be destined for greatness. Give her a smile.
Okay. You head into the
Ah.
tavern together.
I get a pint and sit down at the table with Archie and Sale and give it some weird shit.
What's happening back there, Captain? What's...
Well, weirdly, this guy, this cleric with Ponos, wants to brand Nilrim with Ponos' sigil. Very similar to what we were doing, actually. Sale.
Yeah.
Considering, I got the impression that we were just making that up as we went along. Turns out, it was pretty correct.
Maybe my clerical instincts were on point, Captain. I'll kind
you
of like furrow
divined
my
it.
brow and like look around and be like, and so where's the cleric? I thought you were introducing us to him.
Yeah, he
Doing
disappeared.
some ritual to brand me.
But he's given Nilrim this this child here.
Uh-huh.
Who would put a child in Nilrum's care? I'll start like this is the
Well,
worst thing you could
The
do.
god of suffering.
That's like
obviously.
that's like giving it's like giving a hen to a fox, am I right?
Yeah.
No, we'll
No,
probably
don't
laugh
worry.
at that.
It's not that bad.
The girl looks around
gonna-
the table at everyone, but like doesn't really show a lot of emotion, sort of like coldly calculating everyone's laughter and gathering the the opinions of you about Nilrim and the situation.
All right, I think we need some shots. I'll go to the bar. I'm going to try and get everyone to loosen up a little bit,
I'm
especially.
gonna give her
the
a
guy.
math test.
Shot's a thing in this world.
Yeah.
Shots? Totally.
Rum shots.
Yeah, I just buy a bottle of rum and get like some small glasses and I pour everyone around and. Yeah. Does she drink?
Wow, I mean that's up to
Well,
Nilrum.
she's taking a
He's
math
our
test
parent
for-
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to ask me, Captain.
It's Nilrum's
Hold on.
responsibility.
She's gotta do her homework real quick, and I'll give her a quick test to see if she
Yeah.
is the intelligent lady that I think that she is, because she was cold and calculating by watching people.
Real quick, I'll like slam my hand on the table and be like, I call Godfather.
How terrifying for her.
You put the drink in front of her, and she looks at it and looks at the rest of you and sort of pushes the drink a few inches away from her.
I ask her the questions as they're drinking.
Yeah, it'll take a few hours to get a good judge of someone. You know, there's always a chance
Yep.
that someone gets lucky, so it's going to take a little while. But at the end of your questioning, you see that she has about 17 int.
It's the perfect amount. Not smart enough to overthrow me, but smart enough that it's not going to piss me off. Nilrim will smile and say, Ponos,
Just
you've
right.
done it again. Captain, I'll pick up a drink, a glass. I'd like to
Yes.
propose a toast to our new wizard assistant. Congratulations. What's your name?
I think you get to name her, Nilrim.
Show the girl some respect, lest she cut your throat in the night.
My name is Sylvie.
Sylvie. Well, Sylvie, I'm Nilrim, the greatest wizard to ever live. And you are my new apprentice. Welcome aboard, the Crimson Fist. And I'll say it loudly. Does anybody in the bar notice?
Mm-hmm.
Does she know the name?
She doesn't seem to know the name. Apprentice?
A nod. You're destined to be a great wizard.
Not a slave?
Nope.
Not a slave.
Not turning me into a working girl?
No, you're gonna be a wizard. This is quite the good day for you.
I'll turn to Nilrim and say, I don't think when you're done training her, anyone could force her to do anything. She'll level cities if she wants to.
She reaches
I
forward and
hope
grabs
so.
the shot, takes it and slams it down. Then
There
does
we
the
go.
like
I want a con
"Ugh,
check.
ah,
Yeah.
ah face. We know her int is 17. I will let you roll the rest of her stats right now.
4061, or what are we doing? 3d6?
3d6 for the remainder of the stats.
Down the line?
Down the line.
All right, strength first.
It's gonna be my new character, boys, okay?
True.
7? Not strong.
Dex.
That's alright. 12? That's fine.
Con?
Con?
That's well, it's okay.
Can't be
Okay.
or can't be the good wizard.
17 int.
Willpower,
Willpower, 12.
charisma,
Charisma, 8.
and perception.
Perception, 14.
Yeah, that's not bad
stat.
actually. Yeah, well, perception's not bad considering we all have low perception.
Yeah.
She
Nilrim
usually got
actually
+1
has-
health per level.
Incredible stats.
Give me a d10, please, for her handedness.
We want 10, right?
She is right-handed, and give me a d10 for her sexual alignment. She is heterosexual.
And HP, right?
Yes, and a d6 for her
D6.
HP.
That's not bad. Her grub score, what is that?
3d6 as well.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
What else do we got?
That's it, I think,
I was
right?
gonna say it.
Well, you could do height and weight. Oh, hotness, right? Yeah. Oh no.
She's. That's
No,
good.
It's probably best for her. Yeah.
That's probably best, yeah.
It is.
Well, this was an eventful trip. I didn't think we were coming here to collect a
Did
small
you make
child.
a character, Koibu, or should I?
I'm making her sheet right now.
Awesome.
I will.
Sorry, what did she say her name was? Sylvia.
Sylvie, she says,
Sylvie.
emphasizing the shortness of it.
We're gonna be here another day, Sylvie. So why don't tomorrow, myself and Archie and Sale here, we'll head down to the market and get you some clothes or whatever you want.
She bobs her head.
How about we take her down there, Captain, and let her buy whatever she wants?
That's what I just said.
From my coffers.
Oh, sure. Yeah. That's a good point, Norum. You're responsible for this.
Right.
That man said something about looking through you, seeing through you, committing yourself to Ponos?
Yeah, you know, Norm will tell her about the whole. He'll tell her proudly about what he did in the Spire. She's probably gonna be horrified, but Norm's pretty happy about it. You know, it was ingenious.
She stays sort of like cold and expressionless, trying not to show emotion one way or the other, trying not to like seem enthusiastic or horrified as best as possible, just sort of like absorbing what's coming towards her. But in the process of this conversation, something is going to become sort of apparent to Sale. She sort of reiterates a few times the like seeing through you, hearing through you, seeing through your eyes, feeling through your heart. And Sale, you're pretty aware that if someone can see through his eyes and feel through his heart, if that means they can also hear through his ears, which wasn't exactly said, that the one beneath the sea, the drowned god's name, will eventually be spoken in Nilrum's presence and eventually be heard by this Ponos deity. Is that something that we should be concerned about?
So that would become apparent to me. That would probably be something I would want to talk to Nilrum privately about.
Okay. All right, well, then the conversation can continue until everyone gets too tired or too drunk to do anything. You can sleep on the boat, on the top deck. The weather's kind of chilly. There's a bit of fog in the air. Or you could like find a tavern here, an inn here in town if you want. I don't know if you have a preference.
Norm size. I assume you're not going to run, are you, Sylvie?
Where? I'm alone. I have no money. I have no family. A man kept me in a barrel for a week and no one came to help me. Where would I go?
What did your parents do when you were growing up? You a peasant?
She nods. Yes. My mother took care of a lot of household duties. My father worked in the fields for the Baron.
I'm gonna let you make a choice
Five
tonight.
siblings. My mother raised us all.
I'm not gonna tie you up. You can stay in my room. This is the best lot in life you're ever gonna receive or get to become a wizard. Chances like this don't come often. If you want, you can try and run off. You'll probably succeed. But the best you're ever gonna do is exactly what your mother did. And you should have higher aspirations for yourself. So, keep that in mind tonight. You have the chance to become a wizard and become a great one. Choose your fate.
I'll sleep on it.
Well, figure it out by morning. With your new teaching that I have to do, I won't have time for your wishy-washiness. So, figure out anything you have to figure out tonight. Stay up if you have to.
Yep. And she will.
Okay.
I think as everyone heads off.
We lighten the mood a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Sale, you said you wanted to have you might need a private conversation with Nilrum. I think that the time for that has arrived.
Yeah.
You can pull him aside while you guys head to wherever it is you're going to sleep for the night.
Yeah, I will ask him. Nilrum, I need to speak to you privately.
What's up, Sale?
There is a problem, a conflict that needs to be resolved here. About the drowned one situation. When I was bound to him, I was told to let no one hear his name. Now,
Kind of fucked that up already. Norm laughs a little bit.
well, I think you fucked that up for me, right?
Well, you were a little loud, just because my ears are nearby.
But I got away with that so far, right?
Right.
I'm getting a sense that if you pledge to he'll hear the name, and I feel like that's like the trigger for my oath to be broken, and then
I'll make you a
I'm
deal.
done.
You only say it when you're casting spells, correct?
And when I'm calling his attention to me.
I'm not planning on listening in to you casting spells anymore. My curiosity was piqued the day that I almost got swallowed up into the ocean. When you cast spells, I'll stay away. I won't listen. When you call so-and-so to you, I'll stay away. I won't listen. Shouldn't be a conflict. I don't hear it, or I probably haven't heard it in months.
Yes, but there's also the problem that you know it and you think it, and thoughts are intrusive. And maybe
Well,
if he hears your thoughts, he smells your smells, hears your hears, and hears what you hear, tastes what you taste, he will be, for all intents and purposes, seeing through you. I think that's a problem. I don't think you
Norm
can do
will
it.
ask you a question. Does this mean anything to you? Telemachy, the Lenorum dragon?
Absolutely nothing. That's why I wanted to talk to the cleric to find out more.
Well, you can talk to the cleric tomorrow. We're going through my ritual, but still, you have my word. And you know my word is my bond. A promise that I will not lay a hand on you. I will not go out of my way to disturb anything that you're doing with the drowned one.
I don't doubt your intentions, Nilram. I doubt that it is possible for you to not.
You're just gonna have to trust me.
How's that worked out for a lot of people?
How's it worked out for you so far?
So far, it's pretty good. But this is the first time where you had to come to blows, and I think I may have to draw a line in the sand here. I don't know if I can get past this without... Now, maybe if I was able to talk to the drowned one first and ask his opinion, I could figure out a way, but as it stands, I'm hard stuck. Look, my life is on the line, Nilram. You know what it's like. You don't want to die either.
I get it, but still, you telling me I can't do something, that's not gonna fly for me. I am a free bird. I'm a free spirit. I need to be able to do what I want, you know? And to be honest, he'll point to Sylvia. Sylvie. I really need an apprentice. And I kind of just like doing the Pono stuff. It's not like a big deal. You can talk to the drowned one. I'll point to the ocean. He's right there. I ask you to ask him.
He does.
Be careful
owe
about
me
what
a
I just told you, though.
He owes me a blessing. Come with me to the sea.
No.
I'm going to ask him to make it so you can never hear his name again.
So
You will be deaf to his name forever. And you will forget it.
I want you to go have a conversation with him and see if that's even possible first. And I caution you against saying the Telemachy Lenorum dragon thing.
I'm upset that you even told it to me if it's dangerous knowledge. Because I have nothing I can do with it.
I'm not sure if it is, actually. I just don't know.
Well, I do appreciate that. Look, I think this is like the best solution, but I'll go talk to him first.
Yeah, thank you.
So I will go consult with Rohi, and I will this time I'm not accepting like wind. I'm not accepting like sand. I'm talking to him. It's like I'm beseeching him.
Okay. You know what? It's time for our break here. Why don't we do Rohi on the other side of our break? See you guys soon.
All right.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tides of Death.
Yes. I encourage at least Archie to stay up drinking with me. I know that Sale and Nilram have got a bit of a conversation going on, but I intend to enjoy the night here.
Yep, Archie's gonna drink a lot of alcohol.
Well then,
Archie
Archie
will go back to his room with Sylvie.
Mm-hmm. Archie and Captain John, you say you're staying up drinking. Tell me a little bit more about. Are you all drinking on the boat? Are you drinking in the
No,
tavern?
in
You
the-
drinking
in
in
the
your
tavern,
in-room?
yeah.
In the tavern. We're not animals, Emil.
Yeah, for sure. We got to make the most of being on land in a civilized town.
Right.
We get
Eventually,
pissed, we sing some songs. Maybe we buy a couple of rounds for anyone who's still there. Like once it starts to slow down.
The mood, well, it was pretty slow to begin with, but the mood in the tavern is pretty depressed. Your songs are like the only light of joy in here, other than like the warm firelight that flickers across the floor. Everyone else sort of like gives you weird looks and sort of, more tightly knits themselves together and tries to drown out your happy singing songs with whatever whispered conversations they're having.
I after a while then, after one of my songs finishes, I'll stand up, knocking my chair over behind me as I rise to my feet, and I turn to the tavern with like a tankard in hand and say, "What the hell's up with all of you? You're all so bloody dour. Cheer up."
There are a
Archie
couple of
will-
looks, but mostly ignoring you.
Archie will try to get a sea shanty going. He'll like hook his arms under like another guy's arms, try to get him to come with him.
Yeah, tries to shake you off without really talking to you.
What, for real? What's wrong with all of you? There's no White Prince? Feels like a good place. Little bars on the windows. What's going on in this town?
Who the fuck are you? Says one of the people at the table with the four. Why the hell are you outsiders coming in and getting involved in our business?
We're meeting a friend. We're enjoying ourselves. When I get on land, I like to have a good time. It's hard looking at your miserable faces all night. Maybe we can help. What's up? My man here beat dinosaurs to death. There's no
Yeah, I
problem we
do.
can't solve with those two fists.
Yep.
You can't solve depression.
Can you pick turnips with your fists? Can you harvest cabbage? Can you make the ground fertile and grow?
That's what it is. You guys are just poor. Not enough food.
He rolls your eyes at you, shakes his head, and says, "Get back to your sea and your wenches, Captain What's-His-Face. Leave us
No
alone."
need for that. Listen, mate. Just for one smile, I pull out a bag and hand it to him with 50 gold coins in it.
You know he's gonna smile.
He gives you a big, broad grin with 3 teeth missing in it.
I need you to mean it. All right, no, I'm sorry. I take it back. I give it to the next guy. What about you?
This is bullying.
If you really want to know what the problem is,
Now we're talking.
he licks his lips a little bit. You should head into August.
Where's that?
He points away from the dock up into the mountains. It's the
What's that?
capital city. You'll find all
What's
the
that?
answers you need there. The other ones nearby kind of give a bit of a chuckle.
All right, that's what I like to say. I throw the bag.
Yeah.
I'm taking that off the party
Ah.
sheet.
Take it off your own tab.
Okay, fine.
Gamble your own wages.
Archie, no one here is having any fun. No one here is
Yeah.
having a good time. That doesn't really feels like non-Archie vibes.
It's not. It's really not. It's really depressing. He's been trying to drink a lot of alcohol to make himself feel better about it, but
It's not working.
uh,
What's Archie gonna do about all this? Just gonna
he's gonna try. He's gonna try to tell a joke.
Okay.
Do you need a minute, or do you got one?
I don't have one.
That's perfect. So Archie tells a joke off the cuff of his shoulder without having one prepared.
Wait,
I laughed.
you should get like a charisma roll or something, right?
Sure. I was hoping to put him on the spot and make him
Well, we
come
need a
up with
20.
one.
Oh, I know. I got one.
Okay.
All right, everyone, listen up. What's a pirate's favorite place, huh? Arcadia.
You can take 2% of experience points for that. That was
Oh, it's good.
good.
How did you even come up with that? That's
That was
great.
really good.
That's a good one, actually. Yeah.
All right. They chuckle. There's a good laugh around the table. Sail. Your turn now, buddy.
Hello.
You head to the water, seeking answers. Dark night. You can find maybe a spot at the base of the dock where there's a little bit of light from that lantern out there that at least will show you where the waves are crashing. Or you can bring or make your own light. But you'll need some amount.
Yeah, I'll bring a torch with me of some kind.
Okay. You have some on the boat, so it's not difficult to go light a torch and then, set up by the water here.
Worst case scenario, I can cast light.
Mm-hmm. You find yourself at the water's edge.
And with every fiber, I'm calling out to Rohi mentally. And I'm saying his name quietly. And I'm visually thinking about the dilemma I am in. And I'm I don't know exactly how the connection to him works.
Really
But
need
this
you
is
here, Rohi.
we've picked up the red phone, right? We're dialing the White House, the Rohi house.
When you pick up the red phone, you call the White House?
Is that not how that works?
That means you're a Russian.
Oh. I thought he
Sorry.
just had a red phone, sorry. I didn't know how that
Okay.
worked.
They both have red phones. One goes one way, one goes the other way. But it's fine. Doesn't matter.
You know what? Maybe I am a Russian. No, I'm calling Rohi as hard as strongly as I can, and it's kind of I'm not taking no for an answer. If he's wishy-washy and slow, I'm standing here and I'm walking into the water further, and I'm calling more
He's
and more.
screaming
and
out.
more.
You
I
go
don't
into
think I
the
scream.
water, you call his name, you reach out to him, and you can feel that presence there. You can feel your necklace begin to sort of spin, that little bit of sandstone that you use to cast your spells, to twist itself as you lean forward and untwists itself. Blows a little bit in the still air, unnaturally, bumping against your chest.
Yeah, I guess I go further into the water and I keep calling him. And
Yeah.
I need answers, Rohi. I need answers.
Mhm.
I need your help. This is a crisis, Rohi.
Yes, he's here with you. You've got his attention. It takes a few minutes, but he's here. You can feel it. What are you gonna...
I need a solution to the problem of Nilrum pledging to Ponos. Now, I got away with sharing your name.
Immediately, the water begins to lower, and the tide begins to recede. Continue, though.
I got away with sharing your name against your wishes with my closest crew, who I can keep an eye on and protect. But I assume that I won't say his name again, if he hears your name, then you've got a problem.
The tide has fully receded and washed out beyond the edge of your torchlight. You were up to your thighs, mid-thigh, in the salt water, and now the whole of it has just whoosh, vacated your presence. And then you can hear sort of the distant roar of a large wave, and breaking into view is a 12-foot wave that crashes onto the ground and sweeps you up onto the shore, plunging your light out entirely and then dragging you back into the water a wee bit. Not enough to drown you, but definitely enough to throw you from your feet. You can feel the rage and anger in the crashing wave on you. You can feel the force of it tossing you about. And with it comes very deep rumble that you feel in your feet more than hear in your ears. A clear cry of rage from the sea.
I need a solution, not your fury.
The
What
waters,
options do we have?
splash up and over you again. And as they like cover your ears for a moment, as the waves come in and out, as long as it's covering your ears, you can hear the distant voice. Never. Washes out and washes back in again. You can never. None of them. Never. It rises in tone. They will come for you. They will find you. The White Prince will be the smallest of your problems. The cleric must die. He knows too much already. The waves splash in and out. Never. I have kept a low profile. Never. Splashes in and out.
All right. Might be about time you give me that blessing, though, because I'm going to need some help. What can you offer me? You can either... and I hate that I have to say this, help me kill Nilrim, or help me kill the cleric. The cleric is the easier one, but I don't think he's going to let his allegiance to another god go.
The tides return to their normal area. There's a distant, sort of far-off roll of thunder, sort of like a tropical storm in the far, far distance, that sort of gentle... If you put your head beneath the waters, you can hear Rohi more clearly. He'll tell
Sure.
you that he cannot kill the cleric himself. That would be the same as saying his name in front of the cleric. That would be revealing himself to the cleric.
I just need to know where he is.
Yes. Follow the light, Rohi says, as lightning splits the sky. And you can see the bolt sort of streaks down somewhere towards the mountains. It'll flash again a few minutes later.
And I will begin following the light.
Mm-hmm. The lightning will lead you sort of in the direction of the mountains, away from town, away from the water. But once you get to the far side of town, lightning will strike again, this time more northernly. And you'll head off the trail, because there's like an actual road that leads up towards the mountains. It gets pretty dark out here, but with the occasional flash of lightning, you can come to a temple, just a little bit outside of town. There's some old, sort of gnarled trees nearby whose leaves have fallen away. Is spring, late spring, so maybe they just haven't quite blossomed yet again. Maybe they're, dead trees. You'll find a small temple here. One story, a couple of columns out front, a little gentle entryway, the big spiral of Ponos emblazoned upon the door frame, and there are lights inside, candle lights. You can see kind of bleeding through the crack in the door frame. There's no windows. Building's maybe 15 by 10. Small peaked roof. Mostly upkept well.
It's nighttime, but do I get the impression that there are several servants and people who live here?
Not necessarily. It looks like a smallish temple, so it would be unlikely to have a lot of people living here. You would expect most of the area to be consumed by the actual temple, and then maybe a small living quarters off to the side or underground.
That's what I'm thinking. Is it more like a church? Maybe there's a maid and the main guy, the
maybe
priest or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm not walking into a fortress of a bunch of people. Okay.
That would be a surprise for you.
Gotcha. So I think I have to kill him non-magically in order to make it as least obviously as possible. I am going to start searching around and looking for anything that looks like a living quarters.
Yeah, you'll walk around the whole of the temple real quick, and you will find there is one window on the back right side of it from the position of the front door. And it's got like shutters across it that are tied shut right now, so you can't really see in. But this does appear to be maybe a living quarter that has a window for some amount of light attached to it. You'd have to break open the shutters or something like that, which would definitely make a lot of noise.
It is a living quarters, but I can't see inside. I can't get like a good picture of what's going on.
No. Shutters are shut.
Right. Yeah. I guess I will. Do I knock or do I just go in? Let me think. I'm going to try the door and see if it opens. I'm going to try
Front
it
door
very
opens.
gently.
Yeah.
Very gently.
Yeah. It's just like a little thumb latch, and you push down, and it clicks up, and you can begin to push it forward, and it begins to slide fairly easily. You can hear the humming of a person inside going about their work, humming some nameless tune to themselves.
What do I see? Like if I peek through the crack?
There is a gentleman in dark robes. He looks very much like the cleric that you saw in the tavern earlier, but his back is to you, so the face isn't observable. And he's going around and setting candles on like little platforms and sills about the room. And then, you're watching for a few moments. So you can see the candle get set here and a candle gets set here, and then like pause, and then adjusting the positions between them a little bit more, and glancing about the room and sort of readjusting things.
Yeah, I'll draw my rapier and like walk into the room and have it pointed at him, and I'm basically going to try and push him against a wall and hold it against his throat.
He rolls a natural 1 on his perception check, and you manage to walk into the room and open the door without him noticing, still humming to himself, lost in thought and action. You have complete surprise and drop on this person.
Yeah, I would like to attempt to cover him with my rapier.
Yeah, easy, done. You alert yourself enough that he turns, and immediately the rapier goes to the neck, and the hands go up. The cleric says, "I am a cleric. You wouldn't dare harm a servant of the gods, even if you disagree with my position."
I will give him a big old smile. And does it look a lot like the guy from the tavern?
Totally, same guy, 100%.
And I say, I just want you to worship him properly, and then I'll slit his throat. Or I make an attack roll, I guess.
Yeah, he's not going to go down quite so quickly. Worship him properly. He'll try to choke out a word in between, but it sounds like you're going for the kill here, which is perfect. You get an attack at... I'm looking up the exact bonus, but it's a pretty good one.
It's automatically wins initiative, critical drops to 16, plus 2 to hit.
Perfect. There we go. Go ahead and give me an attack roll.
This is just going to be such a bad roll. I know it. Oh, God damn it.
Is that including your plus 2?
That's not a plus 2.
Okay, so that will bring you to an 11, which is a hit. The rapier slashes out. He tries to like block towards the throat as it goes. You land a score on him. Nice. Let me just get a quick little cleric token here.
Cleric's D10?
D8s for hit points. He will cry out in pain as your rapier slices through his face and neck, leaving him bloody and bleeding. You notice he doesn't have any weapons on him in the moment, but he does have the candles that he was placing around, which are not lit. So they're really not good weapons at all, actually. But he will speak to you on his turn. God damn, where's a dark, scary-looking cleric? This is good enough. And you did 7 damage. drop by that much. We should roll initiative between the two of you.
Yes.
And I will give you a token from which to roll your initiative. Skill is here.
I think my health should probably be higher because I've had several days of rest.
Yeah, I think by now everyone's probably maxed, actually.
Yeah, you're probably full.
It's been like
Gotcha.
2 weeks. 3 weeks? Yeah.
I am going to attempt to drop my rapier and stay in a grapple and prevent him from using his hands to cast.
Ooh.
So,
Okay. Roll me a d10 plus 3.
damn it. Oh, no.
9 for you. The cleric of suffering. Oh, man. Excellent.
It doesn't
We'll
have hold person.
just grab the blood from his face and use that as his spell component. Who knows? It's his spell list. Here we go. Oh, nope, doesn't have that spell memorized.
What spell was it?
Hold person
Jeez.
does not have it, unfortunately. But does he have command? That is, yeah. He will point a finger at you. Actually, its casting time should have been a little bit lower. Point a finger at you and utter a single word. Will be grovel. And I need you to make me a saving throw versus spell modified for wisdom.
He
So how
might
do
have
I...
+2 or 3. I don't know his wisdom.
Yeah, what's your
16 willpower. So what do I...
on your basic tab under your
Plus
wisdom
2.
willpower? You'll see on the far right there's I'm sorry, on the far left
Spell
is a
failure?
mental defense adjust.
It's two.
Yeah,
is
so
what I
make
got.
me a saving throw versus spell at +2.
So I'll just click spell and then add
Yeah.
two.
That is a success,
Oh.
just barely. You feel the compulsion of Onos here, trying to force you into a position to grovel, but you can resist it well enough that it shake it off and take your action.
Yeah, as I attempt to grapple him,
Uh-huh.
I will say I already have orders.
Nice.
Easy. You grab him by the shoulders, slam him into the wall, wrap his hands slightly behind his back. Give me an opposed strength check here.
This is my time to shine, baby. The strongest cleric in the Dardanelles.
Yeah. You slam him and bind him. He glares at you. Who the hell do you think you are? Who are you who would resist the gods? Not even one of the White Prince's men would lay a hand on me. You know what hell you bring down upon yourself?
Of course I do. I'm sending you to it, and then I'm gonna bite him in the neck and try to tear out
Jesus
his
Christ.
throat.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an attack roll. Oh, God. At least at +4. He's held. Yeah, attack roll at +4. I think them's the rules.
I'll just do a regular unarmed attack. I don't know how to do.
Nope, that's
+4
it.
stuff.
Yep. At +4 is a 19. You grab his neck with your teeth. Roll me d4 for
Holy
damage as you
shit.
begin to rip the flesh from him. Yeah, it's
Oh, that was-
just oh, that's only a d2. Please roll me a d4.
I clicked unarmed. I thought it was a D4. My bad.
You take a chunk out of his neck. And the crimson drops fall from it onto the floor around him. He will. Oh, I guess I can just use these dice over here. 1d20 plus. That's going to be his. It's as you're biting his neck that your sandstone medallion sort of pops out of your shirt a little bit and bumps up against him. And there's a pause on his face while he's like staring at you and looking at that. He looks up at you, and despite, the chunk missing from his neck and the rapier slash against his face and through his chest a little, he goes, what? That's no holy symbol I've ever seen. And his resistance sort of stops. And he sort of like almost does the going limp thing. Who do you serve? He says, wincing a little bit with the pain.
I serve your god as well. I'm here to make you suffer, and I'll attack him again.
Well, give me an opposed initiative roll, just regular initiative, I suppose that's called. He cannot do any of that, but he will try to just throw you off of him with an opposed strength check. His strength, however, is only 9.
Do I just roll strength?
No, roll me initiative.
Oh, initiative. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that roll doesn't count then.
What was
Nope.
If that 3d6 was for willpower? I don't think a cleric of Ponus would only have 9, right?
No, the 3d6 was strength.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, the perception was the last one, the 23.
That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We should probably do one of these because there's actual combat now. The wrong one.
That's right, chat. The Ponus cleric might have etherealness still.
Kobe.
He's a 3rd level cleric.
Okay.
His hands
spell
are
level.
bound. Is that Semitic only?
It
He
is
have to throw you off.
your turn, Sale. What are you gonna do?
I guess I'm going to continue to grapple him. Like if I can get my arm around his neck to choke him out, just essentially.
Yeah, you want to increase your hold from a grapple to a pin?
Is that a thing I can do?
Yes, the rules for it are sometimes a little bit cumbersome, but there is an improved grapple that you can get. We usually sort of avoid them because it's a bit messy.
Yeah, I think we'll just stay at this kind of a grapple. Like, I just want to be like, this is a dirty fight, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Where I want to be. I'm not casting spells. He's not casting spells. This is like two people fighting to live.
Yeah. Okay, it goes from a grapple to a lock. Would be the thing here, and all you need to do is make a successful attack roll, and you can improve it from grapple to lock.
Sure.
And I think
thing.
you. Yeah. Bearing. Start. Press fingers. Full attack must blah 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 blah. Protect wins. Characters able to. Attacker tries to improve his grip in another opposed attack roll as described as above. They both fail, there's no change. If the defender wins, there's some damage. If the attacker wins, it goes. -2 to AC for defenders with unusually supple bodies. Nice little quote from the book here.
How supple is this cleric?
He's not particularly supple. So you will fail, and he will fail. So you don't improve your grip whatsoever, but you don't break it whatsoever either. You don't have high strength, do you?
I have 15 strength.
That was perfect. Perfect. Excellent. The cleric will attempt to... he's going to attempt a headbutt. He's just going to try and smash his forehead into your nose. So 1d20. Whap! It is a... I think that's a hit on you.
That is a hit, correct?
Yes. It does not clear by 5, so it does not crit. But the head into your face will do 4 points of damage as he slams it onto the bridge of your nose, making you bleed.
Yep, I will continue just grappling this man. So let's say I do get him pinned. Does that allow me to essentially like just choke him out? Or will he continue to resist?
If you achieve a lock, I think you do automatic damage every round. It's been a while since I've read these rules. Lock defenders become held. If the defender lock defenders become held defenders break free. The other way around though. The attacker.
Why aren't you eating flaming hot Cheetos? Fucking idiot.
Because I don't get them in Germany.
All right, characters who become locked suffer one of the following effects chosen by the attacker. You can throw, you can take them down, you can slam them, press them, hammer them, manipulate them, carry them. When you throw them, you deal damage and knock them prone. Take them down, they go down the same exact square. Take a little bit of damage. This is why we don't normally do these rules, because they're too complicated. There's too many subcategories and too many subgroups.
Sure, let's keep it simple then, where I'm
Yeah.
just like trying to stay at a grapple level constantly.
Yeah. So we
just
can say
attacking.
and you can just improve your grip. So bind his arms behind his back or something with your attack. Go ahead and if you want to just do damage, it's just damage, or you can try to improve your grip to give yourself advantages on attacking and him disadvantages on attacking.
I just want to keep him from spellcasting, so I'm going to
Cool.
keep doing
And this is
damage if I
great.
can.
Yeah, you're just in a good spot. You're both sort of grappled. You've got his arms pinned against the wall behind him, so he can't really move. And he is not trying to cast spells. You win initiative and beat the ever-living shit out of him for how much damage? It's going to be probably a D4 here with you guys being so close quarters. You've got your teeth and your head available to you. Yeah,
Yeah.
-2 to
This
the
is a
cleric.
brutal fight, is what I want to convey. That this is like,
He's
Do or
going
die.
for a kick to your crotch with his knee, and it is a fumble. It just gets your thigh instead, and he wrestles, trying to pull himself free from you, but without any advancement. Initiative on the roll, and after he fails to kick you in the crotch, he calls out, and he starts chanting to his god, "Ponos! Ponos! Your servant is in dire needs. I have done what you've asked. I have brought the girl to the man. What more do you need of me? Ponos!" He calls.
I will say he needs you to suffer, and then I'll attack him again.
Give him a wisdom check, Koibu, to see if Ponos answers.
Ooh, Ponos will at least, sort of like be aware that his cleric is in trouble.
Which is bad for sale.
Yeah,
It could be worse.
could be worse.
Could be.
Ponos is a busy man. You have one initiative. Go ahead and do your shit.
I think 16 hits. 1d4.
16 hits. Yep. What it would define your attack? Oof. What are these things that you're doing?
I'm headbutting him in the mouth. Like, I'm trying to
Yeah.
like, break his jaw with my forehead.
He begins to call out. He rolled a maximum on initiative. You rolled minimum on initiative. So I guess he starts to call out to Ponos when you slam your forehead into his teeth, sort of breaking them inward, and he spits out blood and loosened teeth onto the ground around you. His cries of Ponos get cut off as like the blood soaks his mouth and the pain rattles through his face. On this round, he is going to try and break free from you. So give me an opposed strength check. Oh, he does so good. He does the best he could possibly do. 28 on the strength
Damn.
check. And you're 21. So he will, on this round, wrestle free of you, kind of breaking the arms off of him and sliding to the ground and scrambling away. And we'll roll initiative, and he will try to cast a spell. Whoops, hold on. That's not the initiative roll. It's going to be modified by.
Illness is +1.
I am going to attempt to re-grapple.
No.
He is going to cast. What would he have on hand here?
Neil's just looking for a spell with less than 4 speed.
I haven't seen his initiative roll
I already
yet.
gave him the best spell he could fucking use right here.
No, he can't run away. He needs to kill.
The Ponos Cleric? Fuck no,
Yeah.
not at this HP. Also,
he
there's
doesn't
like
just
no good 3rd level spells for damage.
No,
Mhm.
except for lightning
Could.
bolt. Or call lightning.
Call lightning, yeah.
Yeah, and that takes a long time.
He's
What
just
would
gonna
I
stand there
say?
when I beat him. Try to channel.
I mean, he needs like cause fear, maybe, Neil. That would be pretty good. Aid
There's
might
like
help him.
curse,
I mean,
blindness,
I'm not
and
just-
deafness.
Picking any of the
No,
spells
I
off
know
the
you're not.
list. I'm trying to find something that he would
Wait,
reasonably have
Draw
memorized
upon
on any
holy
day.
mind, Neil. That's the
Um,
spell. That's if there was
pretty
ever
sweet
anyone
one.
to cast it.
Doesn't that need people to do?
No. When the spell's cast, the priest's body shudders and glows with a shimmering aura as it becomes a vessel for the power of his god.
Okay, so he increased the initiative I rolled by 2 to a 10. And Sale rolls a 12. Excellent. He will cast Withdraw. By means of this spell, the priest in effect alters the flow of time with regards to himself. While but one
good
round of
spell.
time passes for those not affected by the spell, the priest is able to spend 2 rounds plus 1 round per level in contemplation. Thus, a 5th level priest can withdraw for 7 rounds to cogate on some matter while 1 round passes for the others. While affected by the spell, the user can only use the following spells, blah, 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 blah. Any divination spell or healing spell only on himself. Casting of these spells in a different fashion negates the withdraw spell.
Oh, he
Similarly,
does
the
have healing
withdrawn
spells.
caster cannot walk, run,
Damn.
become invisible, or engage with actions other than thinking, reading, and the like. So he has a brief moment in time in which to cast any divination spells that he might have, and any healing spells. Fortunately, there are no Cure Light Wounds for Clerics of Ponos. However,
Yes, there is.
for Ponos?
Yeah. Oh, fuck, I just lied.
They
I
get
wanted Balthara's sheet.
Flicked,
I'm sorry.
don't they?
No.
Nope, I'm probably wrong.
They do get, however, where to go? Oh, I scrolled it. No alignment, which is the first spell he's going to cast. Enables the priest to read exactly read the aura of a creature or an aligned object. Caster must remain stationary. Blah blah blah. The creature rolls a successful saving throw versus spell. So please roll me save or spell.
Sure thing.
And I do believe you get a +2 on that because of your high wisdom willpower. So that is a pass. So
Well,
that
this
will-
isn't a mind affecting spell, right?
I guess it's not effect. It's reading his. It's
Right?
not reading his mind.
It's not against him. It's not reading his mind.
Well, he gets a saving throw though, so he does get to resist it, and it is probing his. Maybe not his mental.
But just because you get a saving throw doesn't
Yeah.
mean it's always a mind spell,
Okay,
right?
so he'll get a general idea of your alignment. Next spell he's going to cast, doesn't need to cast that one, is
Sorry,
going to be
I'm luring for my future cleric, by the way.
is
Potato.
That's
thought
fair.
capture. One of the more bizarre connotations held by priests of the school of thought is generally scoffed at by outsiders. The theory states that once a thought has occurred in someone's brain, it exists as a freestanding mental object. This thought object usually remains inside of the brain of the creature that created it, but sometimes escapes. This is supposedly explaining why people forget things. Now, this is all a little bit sketchy, but this is how this spell is supposed to work, is that thoughts sort of float about, and he is going to try and capture the strongest thought from this area. And this area has not been used for, I mean, it's an area of suffering, right? There's a lot of strong thoughts that happen in this region. But someone coming in here, binding his arms, or biting his neck, desperately trying to kill him, he's hoping is going to be a strong enough thought to give him some insight into what is happening in your brain. And I'm going to make it a percentile chance. We're going to say He's got with this spell a 35% chance of pulling out your thought, which is fresh and right here in front of him. So no save for you, just a D100. He wants a 35 or lower. Okay, that's 2 rounds. Actually, it's 3 rounds because he has to focus on you for a round to use the detect alignment. 4th round of his 7 rounds that he gets to cast these spells. I guess detect magic is the only other divination spell he would have. And you do have magic on you. You've got Nilrum's armor spell on you, right?
Yep.
Okay. Do you have any other magic on you?
No, I didn't do a blast or anything like that. I just went in.
Okay. Gets to think for a while. Got 3 minutes of contemplation.
Get thinking.
Okay. If he moves, if he runs, if he tries to cast anything else, the spell immediately breaks and fizzles. So at the end of his time, I'll just have him make some checks here, right? We're gonna give him an intelligence check as he tries to remember anything he can about someone matching your description. 1d20 plus 3d6. Nope. He can't figure anything out about you. 1d20 plus, I rolled his wisdom, which was 13, to see if he can piece together.
Can we know what the alignment thing was?
You have to be 9th level to project an alignment aura.
Not
So,
if he's undead.
That's true, but thankfully you're not this priest, so you don't get answers. Dodged a bullet there. He's going to see if he's going to run his religion proficiency. Fuck. Nope. Okay, last round of checks.
Guys, really delaying the inevitable here with these useless spells.
His death is never true.
He doesn't know anything about
He
you.
might have
so-
etherealness, Nick.
No. So he will spend his last bit of withdrawn time to say to you, if you kill me and take the girl, we will come for you. There will be no stopping us.
He doesn't remember who he is. There was no intellect thing.
Oh, fuck. Shit.
And
Fine.
Yeah.
Then forget the part about the girl. If you kill me,
Thank you.
Ponos will find you. You will become a heretic on this land. The seas will be no measure to stop the people who come for you. Repent, he says as he backs away from you, trying to get as far away in this room as possible.
As I'm walking towards him, I say, "I'm counting on it." Oh my god, I missed! God, that was such a good line.
That was.
Right, I think he is out of useful spells. So just initiative, and he's going to come kick you in the balls again.
he's gonna fight. He's not gonna run.
I think there's only
Good
one
lord.
door, and I'm between him and the door.
And yeah, so he wins his initiative, goes to kick, wild miss.
Why is no one
And
going for the sword, Neil? There's a sword on the floor.
There is a sword on the floor, I suppose.
Uh,
It's a good
well, I
question.
dropped the
Why
sword
isn't-
because of the grapple, and I'm
Mhm.
continuing to attempt to grapple here. Like,
Yeah, I think the sword is next to Sail, so like to get to the sword and pick it up would probably be provoking attack of opportunity at this point. If Sail distanced himself from the sword, then maybe we could get to it, but not when it's under Sail.
So, like,
15 is a hit.
I've never cast withdraw. Well, I'm attempting to grapple here, so I guess it's another strength check. No damage.
Yeah, post string.
I don't know that he used withdraw, and I don't know what spells he has. My goal here is to just, like, in Sail's mind, he's just like, I have to control his hands. If he casts
Mhm.
something that
You're not aware that he's out of spells, unfortunately.
Yeah.
He will botch a strength check. You will get him, grapple with his arms in a way that he can't really break free of it, and we will roll initiative again.
Oh, there we go.
Tie. The cleric will try to bite your arm with a 2.
I will
So he should be
try
having,
to knee him hard in the stomach.
have a +1 or 2 on all these attacks. That will get him in the stomach. Give me a D4. We should probably, I was gonna say a D3, and that's fine. It's right in the D3. He is definitely beginning to fall. One more time, he's gonna call to his god. On this turn, if he wins initiative, which he does, he calls out to Ponos. Ponos, see this man before me. Bring him down. If I die, he dies. Know his face. Send our acolytes after him, the one we found today. Tell him to kill this man. And then he curses aloud as he remembers that he has not yet given Nilrum the ceremony. Nilrum is not yet bound to Ponos and cannot be a conduit. Go for it, Sail.
Yeah, I'll just make an attack.
Yeah. It's clear that he's outmatched. Initiative, and I think there's nothing more to do. Maybe he can run. Maybe he can flee into the night. But what sort of cleric in his own temple runs and flees into the night?
Any cleric doesn't want to die to serve another day?
Yeah,
I'll
but
tell you
then
for
he's
a fact Anton would fucking run. Fuck that.
leaving your temple behind. You'd be letting someone else take it. How
You're
could
letting
you?
the god down more by fucking dying and not.
That's true.
doing your
You're
duty.
right. We're gonna run, but we don't have time. Crap to our initiatives.
I didn't roll the damage for that one. I assume that hit.
That does
is it
hit,
kind of,
yeah.
2, and then we'll initiative again, and then we'll attack. Ugh.
Miss, and he's going to try and break free. Opposed strength check, and then a run. 1d20 plus 9. Fail. Doesn't matter what you roll. He just can't break free. Initiative. He'll try and break free again. Come on. Give me your strength check. Aha! He finally casts off your arms and is going to dart for the door. You dropped your weapon, no attack of opportunity. He breaks through the door and out into the night, the dark night. You can hop up behind him if you want and chase.
Can I scoop up my rapier and give chase?
Excellent. You won initiative. He's out the door first. You are pausing for a moment to grab your rapier. Give me a perception check at +2. Perception check required because it's dark outside, but +2 because you're right on his heels.
And also, I have Rohi guiding me to him.
True. See if there are any
I
more
feel like I
lightning
would
flashes
just
in the
maybe
night.
know where he is. Well,
Ooh.
you know what?
You see him anyway. He's gone out the doors and he's headed for town. He's headed for the docks. He's headed for Julius Docktown.
Yeah, I'm going to sprint as fast as I can. Like, con checks, friend checks, whatever it takes to catch him.
Yes, give me an opposed strength check because we are now in a chase. And so he can either choose to just try and outrun you, which is opposed strength checks, or he can try to outmaneuver you, which would be opposed dexterity checks. But he's trying for the brutal sprint run. And it's not going to work. You will catch up to him. Now, you have a weapon in your hand. You can choose to make an attack roll, but then we'll just do another set of strength checks to see if he can outrun you again, because you're going to pause momentarily while you strike him. Or you can do like a tackle to try and drag him to the ground.
Yeah, I think a tackle to stop the running helps. is the
Okay,
move.
so it's going to be an attack roll, and if you succeed, then strength checks and all that jazz. You get a +2 because you are coming up from behind him. Actually, a +4 because he really can't see you in the dark or anything like that.
Do I just do an unarmed attack then? Like if I'm
Unarmed
tackling?
attack at +4.
So
That'll do
that's
it.
a 17.
You grab hold of him, and can you drag him to a stop with a strength check? Yes. Yeah, you grab with a. Would you roll to hit? A 23? No.
That was the strength check. The roll to hit was a 16.
13.
So 17.
Yeah.
Because it's +4.
Right. So the 17, you can easily like get him around the waist and haul him to sort of a stop. The rapier wrapping around in front of him, your other arm around him, and he is held this way and cannot go anywhere. Let's get an initiative roll and see what we end up with.
Yeah, I'm slow.
Is there just nobody in the streets either?
We're in the temple quite far away.
The temple was just outside of town. He hasn't quite made it there, so he starts shouting. He starts screaming into the night. Help! Help! Servants are here to kill the gods' men! Help!
Unfortunately, Archie and I are singing at the top of our lungs in the tavern, but no one can hear.
No one's asleep.
Is this a rapier attack?
Yeah, I assume he didn't like actually. That was his action, was screaming.
His action is screaming bloody murder, trying to get anyone's attention over here. And you, with still behind him, you can draw the rapier across him with a successful hit for how much damage?
6.
It's enough to rip him open and make him drop to the ground. Now, the all-important question. Did anybody
Here.
hear him? Now, we're a little far from town, but there's a lot of people in town. So I'm just going to do one perception check at average perception to see if somebody in town might have heard him. It's nighttime. You're kind of far out, but there's a lot of people. No. Nobody hears. Nobody comes running. But the cleric is wounded before you. Not quite dead. Negative hit points. Bleeding to death. You have his temple.
I will drag him back up to his temple and wait with him while he bleeds out and apologize. And then leave.
Okay.
Specifically, I'll apologize to Ponos. I'll say I'm sorry.
No
To
one
his,
had
like,
nothing to
altar.
do with this.
Okay. The next morning, you guys wake up. You come out of the tavern.
Is the girl there?
Girl's still there. Yeah.
She made her choice.
Mm-hmm. She spent the night. She's there in the morning. But in the morning,
Give her
as
a nod.
everyone is coming out of their rooms, there is an officer on horseback. You can tell that he's the sheriff of the town by the badge he wears over his shoulder, over his lapel. And as our four people are coming out of the tavern, he will ride up to Archie, horse sort of like doing the sort of prancing maneuver, and behold, and he'll look at you. You there, fine sir, he says, pointing a finger in Archie's direction. Sir, I did say sir.
Archie will cross his arms and raise an eyebrow.
Those are some of the most amazing bulging muscles I've ever seen. You there, you must be new to town. I don't recognize you. I don't know you. What is your name, sir?
I'm Barchi. Barchi's my name.
Barchi. Well,
We give a
That's
nod.
right.
I know not what your
Nice.
employment is, but our Lord in August has need of strong men like you.
Hey, buddy, listen.
I'm
He's
not
already got a
speaking
job.
to
Why don't
you.
you move along?
What is it? What does he need to move some boxes around? You guys can do that.
No. Far more important work than that. A fine lad like you. How's your brain? Smart? Are you wise?
Very
Are you-
smart. Very wise.
Smart enough to know a scam when he sees one.
Do you know
That's
your
right.
letters? You read?
How else do you think I got this tattoo that says Archie?
What does the tattoo say?
It says Barchi. It used to say Archie,
Yeah.
and we added a B.
He nods. Splendid. I don't know what these knaves are offering you for recompense, but how would you like to be an officer?
Knaves.
Alba Island could use wise, strong, literate men like you. We are clearly in a state of suffering, and our dear Baron would love nothing more than to have a magnificent specimen like you with us.
Who was your baron?
Not talking to you, knave. I'm talking to the magnificent man before me.
I enlarge Archie. 60% to be larger.
I grow.
You're gonna cast a
Above him.
spell because it's not, a
I don't give a
non-zero
fuck,
time
Koibu.
thing. You don't give a fuck, do you?
I hear the
These
words
you
behind me,
casting,
and I get a
you-
resigned look on my face.
You go to touch Archie, you begin casting the spell. He realizes what's going on, and he will rear his horse. He'll draw his sword at his side, but not attack anyone with it, but just,
Good.
draw a weapon. As the horse, kicks up. Archie grows, did you say 60%?
Yeah, I'm level 6, so he's 60% bigger.
Plays the Mario mushroom sound.
Oh, look at him. You were saying?
What was that word you called my crew? Can I do that one more time?
Names
He said knaves.
Means
So
a
who's your
lazy
baron?
layabout
Is he-
who has...
Is he
does-
misspeaking? Is he trying to say navy? I don't.
Yeah, he misspoke.
Is he still being an asshole, Koibu?
Depends on your perspective.
I asked
By
him
the
eight.
gods!
I'll ask you one more time. Who's your baron?
Baron Grimwald, how do you not know? We've set foot on this island. Do you know not the people who live here?
People were telling us some weird stuff goes on in the middle of the the island. What did they mean by that? I'll show him a metal or like a crystal rod.
He isn't smart enough to know what the fuck that means. He'll say the mountains in the island are extremely dangerous. They told you to go to the Midlands and to the middle of the island by yourself. They're probably trying to get you killed. Those paths are treacherous.
Yeah, what's there though? There's something wrong with this place. Everyone's so bloody miserable.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like the type of place that I would want to work anyway.
You'd be bloody miserable if the White Prince had cut you off of all supplies, all communication, all trade with the outside world. Locked here for generations, alone.
Baron Grimwald, he an enemy of the White Prince?
Ha! Baron Grimwald does not recognize the White Prince nor his authority in any way, shape, or form. We stand outside the law, outside the so-called shining light of civilization.
I'll
You know,
whisper to
by
the
the-
captain. We
By
can
the
fix
fucking gods, man. I am so sick of everyone on this goddamn island being so whiny. Oh, the White Prince, he kind of... Oh, yeah. None of us are have anything to do with the White Prince. We're doing fine. How about you shut the fuck up, okay? How about you go to a different island if you don't like it here, okay? And make something of yourself and stop fucking whining every day. It's not gonna help anyone.
That's the
Yeah, but I'd
fighting
rather die
spirit
in
we
poverty
need. I want
than serve on
we
this
want
island.
a man like you to join with us. There's money to be had, glory to be had.
Listen,
We can fix their
Wait.
logistical issues, Captain.
I would rather
Yeah,
die in poverty and no glory than leave my crew here to be with some barren fuck squat who can't even keep his people happy.
that being said though, we are also enemies of the White Prince. Maybe we can, I'm not saying that Barchi here can go and work for Grimwald, but maybe at least he can get a look at his bulging muscles. Might, store it away in the old wank bank for the future. Is that what he's into?
I would not presume to know what my lord's proclivities include, but he is a man of great appetites. I doubt not that a specimen like this would go wasted upon his illustrious eyes.
Right there.
We could probably sell him one of these, and I'll show the captain the pouch where I hold the door handle thing that'll make the the silver lock and key.
Oh.
Yeah.
Aldrich's
That makes
discriminating
Aldrich's
door.
discriminating door.
Well, we could go and visit Grimwald. We're here for the rest of today at least, right? No? Melon?
Yeah. He laughed. I'm waiting on the cleric to come and see me probably tonight in the tavern.
It's a 2-day
Sure.
journey to August. I would be happy to guide you there myself, for the roads are treacherous and the way is difficult.
Then perhaps we could leave in the morning.
Leave tomorrow.
Don't need the 3 of you, but if it's a package deal, then
We can
I'll
solve
take
your
it.
island's logistical issues. We have people under our employ who can bring certain goods here. As well as I might be able to solve your Baron's magical issues.
The Baron would most love to hear from a lot of you then. Please, come inland with me. I will arrive in the morning, escort you there myself, prepare for a 2-day journey through the mountains and the passes deep within Alba Island.
Sounds good.
He will sheathe his sword, kick his horse in the flanks, and trot away.
Well, that was strange.
In his absence, a few of the other townsfolk, who are in the morning light, things maybe aren't quite as dour as they were before. There's definitely some sort of, sadness to this place, but now that there's a little bit of sunlight coming through and it's only partially cloudy, things don't look quite as grim. There's young girls going around with woven baskets selling flowers. There's a little bit of commerce and trade happening down here, but the fruit and veggies is kind of crap.
I wanna pull John aside real quick.
What is it, Archie?
Is it just me, or was that guy totally hitting on me?
Yeah, I'm not sure if he was hitting on you for himself or for his lord, but listen, it's people are miserable here. They got to do something to keep themselves happy.
No.
You away.
How
You
do
know,
you,
actually, I had a very interesting story. It's actually quite common amongst other pirates around these parts to engage in civil unions. Sorry, go ahead.
I have 2 other spellbooks, Koibu.
Mm-hmm.
You give a spellbook to your apprentice, right?
Yes, your apprentice will need to learn spells. They can't really do anything without read magic and detect magic. And the rules for this are kind of awkward because you have to roll to learn a spell, but if you can't learn read magic and detect magic, you don't get shit. So we just generally start with them. So we'll say that your apprentice will learn those spells automatically as their first 2 spells, but they'll still need the, some time. Let's call it a couple months to pick them up.
Okay, I'm just debating on which spellbook to give them.
Well, they are going to actually need to create their own, because when they learn a spell, they have to write it down their own way. You need your own.
Do I need to get them a blank spellbook then?
Nah, they can just, bookmark the spell book and, use the second half of it. So you can give them one of these books, but just to say that they will still have to learn and write their own spells, and they'll end up with their own, spellbook is both a physical object and a concept of the spells so they'll use the second half of the physical object while they create the concept of a spellbook as their repertoire out of it.
Well, you can have a spellbook that's like a collection of pages as well. It doesn't have to be bound in a book, so you could even just cut out pages.
Yeah, I have 41
but
pages
it's just
of new spells.
way
in the
more
loose.
I guess so, yeah, Neil.
It's
And I
just
have 80
awkward.
pages in another spellbook.
Mhm.
Can I roll for the other 2 spellbooks? How many pages they had? I never got those numbers, I don't think.
Yeah.
I'm going to be rolling for Hubert's Wizard spellbook and Kenji's.
Excuse me.
Where did I put those things for you?
On Hubert's Wizard character.
Hubert. Civilized. Oh, Father Hubert. Here we go.
No, Hubert's Wizard.
Hubert's Wizard. Got it.
It's in the civilized area.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, I see
in
it.
that area.
So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 96. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So it's 22 d6 plus 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Whatever d6 I said plus 18.
22 d6 plus 18, so 91.
So there's only
Pages
9
left?
pages free. That's the number that have been taken up with the spellbook.
Oh, and there's 100 spells in a spellbook.
100 pages in a spellbook, yeah. So there's
100
9
pages, okay.
blank pages.
9 free pages, and then in Kenji's,
Let's take a look.
Kenji's probably even has less. Or is this like a double spellbook?
Find 122, 23 d6 plus 21.
112?
So He must have gotten lucky and shrunk it down. We'll just call it 100 pages. It's filled.
Okay. Build. Okay, I'm gonna give her Peros's old spellbook that I stole. It
Excellent.
has 80 pages left.
Excellent.
And was I able to buy another spellbook in Arcadia?
If you wanted to, yes. That makes sense. It's going to be expensive. We'll sort that out a little bit later.
We can sort that out later, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
80 pages left. Perfect. I just want to glance over here real quick.
And I also have 41
Fantastic.
pages of new spells loose, it says. I don't know what the fuck that means, but I have it on the sheet, so.
Cool. All right. So we're going to end our session for today right here. When we come back next week, we're going to head deeper into Alba Island. This isn't the first time Alba Island has come up. This name has sort of been kicking around a few times. Does anyone remember the first time we heard Alba Island?
It was
think
in
we
the
heard about
book
it.
of insignias and stuff.
Yeah.
Where was
In
that,
the
though?
book from Kaiser Island, Sulphur Island.
Mm-hmm.
The
The
Kaiser
Kaiser family. What did they say about Alba Island way back when?
It was
That
like a
book was-
refuge.
Yeah, that book was old, right? That was like 80 years old, 90 years old.
Yeah, it was one of the only islands that hadn't been taken by the White Prince, and like was
Oh,
still,
yeah.
like a free island.
Were they talking about trying to flee there or something, or considering it?
I think so. I think they were talking about how they had friends on Alba Island.
Yeah.
Okay. Well then, we will find out more about Alba Island, and hopefully we will refresh our memories on any other details that might exist between now and then. But that will do us for the day.
I have a few questions from the Patreon.
Yeah, bring them up.
Question for Pokemon challenges: how does your character feel about being essentially chained to the Dardennes?
I don't think he's realized that yet. Like I feel like in Archie's mind, he just kind of happened to get sick, but there's no like causal link yet between that and leaking the Dardennes for him, I think. But I think if he did know, I think he's still wrapping around his head around the whole Rohi thing. So hard to say.
Question for the cast: what is the story of how you got into D&D? For me, my brother had friends who I think played 3rd edition, so I did a few campaigns I did a few sessions with them, and then I stopped until I joined back up for Gnomes, Tomes, and Catacombs with Koibu.
For me, I just saw the Koibu campaigns on Steven's channel and it looked awesome.
I don't remember exactly how I got into D&D. It was kind of a mixture of friends being interested and kind of talking about it and watching a little bit of content online. But I would say that this campaign is like my first major foray. I've only done like maybe 10 sessions before this.
I've spoken about it before, but I was super into Neverwinter Nights when that was out for about 4 years, and I was always intrigued about how D&D could work, like how those rules could work, but without a map or without like a game behind it. I just didn't understand like how it could just be imagination. And then I was super into StarCraft, and I saw JP and Jeff Robinson and that playing D&D, so I thought, oh, I'll check that out. And then I've been hooked ever since.
Sorry,
With
I
Neil.
actually
They were playing
lied.
with Neil. Yeah. Sorry.
I actually lied. It was my friend Morbus who got me into D&D. I totally forgot. And if he ever sees this and realizes that I just left him out of my D&D lineage.
I got started. I was a little kid. I had a friend who was like 3 years older than me. I must have been like in 6th grade or something, and he was probably like a 8th or 9th grader at that point. And I was friends with his brother, who's a few years younger. And we were all like, I went over to hang out with them one day, and they were already hanging out with their older friends. So I was like the little kid in the room with all the older guys, and they were playing D&D, but I didn't remember what the fuck was going on. They were just like telling stories about this group of dwarves who were in some sort of war and like trying to charge across this landscape, and they were hanging out in a ditch. And I was like, what the fuck is this? This is super cool. There's dice and there's stories and there's dwarves and there's fighting. What the hell is going on? But like I was sort of bored, so I left. And then a few years later, or sometime later, I asked him to like run a D&D campaign for me, or like let's play D&D, and he really didn't want to. It was clear in retrospect, it's clear that I was like the little kid,
Yeah.
the little friend who was like, play this game with me. And he's like, God fucking damn it. Okay. He had some sort of silly, dumb story about, chasing someone who was like running around stealing people's stuff in town. And I had a great time, and I think he was not interested. And so he like gave me some materials that I could go play with my other friends who were my age. And I did. And we took the materials and we played a little bit of D&D, and it was great. But we didn't really know what the fuck we were doing. And so we ended up sort of doing our own pseudo D&D storytelling games, but we didn't have dice or rules, so we just sort of like made it up, and we were young and it was dumb. And eventually, somewhere between, I don't know, 6th grade and 9th grade, or 6th grade and 8th grade, my mom bought us some books, bought us like a DMG and a Monsters Manual and a Player's Handbook, or maybe one of them at a time, I don't remember the order. And we pored over the books, looking at them, trying to decipher what the hell these rules meant. If you look at the Monsters Manual, it'll say like hit dice, 2 + 1 or something. And we didn't know what the fuck that meant. It's like, do you have 2 hit dice? Or is it 3? 2 + 1 is 3. So why doesn't it just say 3 hit dice? What the fuck does 2 + 1 mean? And we had to try and figure out what these rules meant. And 2nd edition's complicated enough as it is, let alone like as a
still
junior
trying
high
to figure
school.
some of them out.
I know, right? Let alone as like a junior high school kid trying to decipher these things with no one to guide you. And eventually we pieced it together and picked it up with some of our other friends and played a crap ton of D&D all through.
Was this with Ryan or no?
Yeah, Ryan was the person who I played like the handed off materials with. Brian was the guy who taught me. Ryan is the one who I learned with and played the crappy version, the CD&D, crappy D&D, which is just kids being like, do you want to play D&D hard or easy mode? There's no dice, so we're just going to make up whether you hit or not. Which was silly, but super fun. And that's how I got into it.
Kids watching this like, why didn't they just use a dice roller on the phone?
Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. This would have been 97, 98, 99, something like that. Somewhere in there.
Yeah, phones had Snake back then.
Yeah.
Not even.
There was one more question, Mutin, above from Weird Boy 11.
Oh, why are you so
Which I
savage
had.
or whatever?
No, above that. Does John have any aspirations of settling down with a family after all the White Prince stuff? I thought about it. I just don't think John's that kind of person to have like long-term plans necessarily. Kind of lives in the moment. So if he meets a beautiful maiden who can put up with his lifestyle, he might get married to her within like a week or something crazy like that. But I don't think he'd like, oh, in the future I'm going to settle down and have a wife and 5 kids,
Mm-hmm.
Don't think that's his style.
Are we
I
pretty
thought we
rich
were
right
gonna get
now?
married.
Yeah, we're rich. We're rich as fuck. I mean, what would you consider rich?
Like 10,000 gold.
Let's see. Where
Average-
did I write this
Average
down?
laborer makes like 50 gold a year. So like 10,000 gold is.
Yeah, well, we've
It's a
got
lot.
3,000 gold, and is it 10 silver to a gold?
Yes.
100 silver to a gold, right?
No, 10.
No, it's 10.
10.
So we've got 13,000 golds worth of silver. So yeah, we've got about 16,000 gold. So we're rich. Yeah,
Pretty good.
We're like billionaires in toss right now.
we are. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we are. Yeah, actually.
We're the 1%.
Cool. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. Neil,
Yeah.
thank you once again.
As
We
always,
will be here next week, right?
Are we all
Yeah.
here? Is someone not here
Yes.
next week?
I'm
We're
here.
all here next week.
Coolio.
The week after that, Nick can't make it, right?
No, the week after
Oh, you
I can.
can't?
I don't leave until the 19th.
Okay, we're good for the next week.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Cool. Well
I'll
then.
see you guys next week.
Goodbye,
See you next
buddy.
week.
Fantastic session.